It's here. It's big. And it's closer than you think. It's not a tournament. It's what you don't see on TV. The cash is real. The stakes are high. They bet big. They win big. They lose big. High stakes live action poker. Live at the bike. Watch it live on the web. Or play it if you dare. At the Bicycle Casino right here in Los Angeles.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Live at the Bike, brought to you by the Bicycle Casino in Los Angeles, California, the first and only webcast of real action cash game poker. My name is Bart Hansen, and I am joined tonight for the first about 30 minutes with pro poker player Mel Judah. How are you doing tonight, Mel?
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Well.
And Mel has actually done some commentary with us in the past. Tonight's game is going to be kind of a theme night. We're going to be doing a ladies-only cash game. This game is a no-limit cash game. The blinds are $1 and $2. It is a $40 maximum buy-in game. We use blue chips, the $1 chips, so those are the only chips that we use in the game. And this is one of what we call a live action tournament. It is a cash game, but the person that wins the most pots will win $100. Second place is $50. Third place is $25. And each time you win a pot, you will receive a pink marker chip. And again, the first three people that have the most marker chips at the end of the night will win those.
Some lucky lady
those
will
prizes.
Yeah, the winner for tonight.
Exactly.
If there's the most chips.
So we will go around now and introduce the table. In seat 1, we have Mayte Rodriguez. Seat 2, Charity Turner. That is the wife of chip burner Robert Turner. That's Robert Turner's wife. Seat 3 is Clothing, I believe is her name.
Clothing Stein.
Seat 4 is Marisol. Seat number 5 is Marla. Seat 6 is Lori. Seat 7 is going to be Cindy. It's currently open right now, but Cindy's there at the table. Seat 8 is Mary Lee. And
Marie.
Seat 9
Laura.
is Laura. Yeah, Laura Perez. So, of course, the blue chips in this game are $1 chips. If you see yellow chips, they're $5 chips, but I don't think they're really incorporated in this game. And, of course, we are using marker chips. This is a cash game, but the person that wins the most pots at the end of the night will win a prize, and second and third place.
So this is a totally different concept to the normal tournaments and cash games by seeing more action, seeing people play more hands.
Absolutely. It adds action to the game because of the...
It puts a little bit more into the game to try and get that first prize.
Right, to add the marker chips.
Yeah.
So we're going to jump into the first hand. It looks like Marisol in seat 4 has bet $2. Again, the blinds are 1-2. She just has king high, and she's gonna take it down. Look at Maddie. She mucked the nut flush draw with a pair there on the flop. She had ace deuce of spades. You know, Mel, it's funny, and I don't mean to grossly stereotype or make a gross generalization, but a lot of times when I see women play and they tend to be beginners, they play extremely tight, tighter than any say novice new guy that comes to the table, which just seems to be wild and has a calling station.
I think probably they're a little bit nervous right now,
Uh-huh.
and they all want to settle down, and they want to be there on television for a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Once the game gets into full swing, I'll say you'll find that's all gone out of the window.
All gone off the window, of course.
I think they'll be playing their hands on its merits, because some of them can actually play a little bit.
Well, again, we're trying to basically win the most pots. That is the goal for one of those ladies. Obviously, it's a cash game as well, and you want to win cash. But winning the most pots would be a pretty big goal because it's a $100 prize at the end.
Unless you lose one big pot, generally when you win a lot of pots, you win both ways.
Right.
So at this moment in time, they're all playing pretty tight together. See what... Looks like Laurie just made
a full house.
Full house on jacks.
And look at this. Marisol had been checking and calling. She had flop trip sixes.
Yes.
And Marisol, it looked like Lori bet on the turn. Marisol did not raise. She just smooth call with 3 6s. And it got Lori to stick around, and she spiked a jack on the river, and she took it down. Now, Mel, as we were saying, this is really the first time that anyone has ever televised or broadcasted a cash poker game. Everything on TV, like the WPT, World Series of Poker, are all tournaments. This is a cash game. Tell us a little bit about some of the differences between a cash game and a tournament.
Well, first I'd like to say that a lot of people have wanted to make a live cash game, but generally when you do that, it'll be mostly mixed games, because people like to see a lot of different things and how other players interpret certain games and their style of play. The difference between tournament play and cash game is, first of all, you can't go back into your pocket.
Right.
So you only have that one opportunity to be in the tournament, so you don't want to go broke, because in a cash game you can always go to your pocket and put some more money on the table. Generally, depending on how big the tournament is how loose or tight you play, because the prize money is really on the top. It's normally 1, 2, 3. But in this particular case, is not where you finish, is what you finish up with.
Right.
So I would say, depending on the situation, how close they are to the time limit. Maybe there's a time limit here. Have we got a time limit?
Well,
on
it's a
this?
3-hour show. So.
Okay, so if someone's got maybe 2 or 3 hands in front, the time limit to go, they might decide to play a few more parts. So that, I don't know if these ladies have taken that into consideration.
Now, right there, as we were explaining a cash game, Mary flopped bottom 2 pair, and again, she played it extremely, I would almost want to say tight, weak, extremely passive. She check-called the flop, check-called the turn. She got counterfeited on the river, but Marla, who had bet on the flop in position, only had pocket deuces. So kings and nines with the queen kicker takes it down there at the end.
That's right. Yeah. Let's see, where are we now?
So the button right now is in seat number 6. That's Lori.
Yes.
And again, these are 1-2 blinds. It's a restricted buy-in, no-limit game.
I think the buttons raised to $6, which is Lori.
Yeah. That's 3 times the big blind, obviously. She's got ace-9 offsuit.
Yeah. The small blinds go with queen of diamonds, jack of clubs.
And
are these hands live on?
Yep, everyone can see that too.
Right, okay.
And that's that picture is what everyone sees at home.
Okay.
Yeah. So Laura called with ace-5, and she's got a wheel draw. And she's going to bet right in $2. But that's $2 into an $18 pot. And Lori's going to call with ace-9, so it's now about a $22 pot.
Yeah.
The turn is a 7 of spades. Lori picks up the nut flush draw on seat 6.
She's got the ace of spades, so her hand's protected, and that will stop. She's calling. I'm surprised she's calling.
Well, Lori is the one on the button with the ace of spades there, so Laura's betted with ace-5.
Actually, Laura should be able to bet and take the spot away. If she checks, she's done what I said. She's going to win the spot.
Laura checked, and Lori in seat 6 has bet.
Well, this will be a brave call because she's not sure what she should be doing, and I reckon she's going to pass.
She's going to fold.
Yeah. So, if someone was looking for tells, they could have picked up a tell on Lori right now. Some of these women need to watch that because there was a tell there, by the way.
You want to share it with us?
Yeah, she picked up a bottle of water and had a drink.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So, what does that normally mean?
That means she was slightly nervous, and she wanted to cool down her nerves, and that's why she was bluffing the pot. If she had a hand, she wouldn't have gone for a bottle of water straight away.
Ah.
In her particular case, not all the time. In her particular case.
And she's coming raising here, Lori.
She's got aggressive right now.
She raised it to $6. She had ace jack of hearts, and she's going to take it down.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of times I think that a lot of beginners, like in this type of game, Mel, sometimes don't quite understand pot size and the amount of what the bet should be, because in that hand, the ace-5 led in for $2 into a pot, which was raised to $6 three ways. So you're talking about betting $2 into an $18 pot, no limit. That's really not a very, very strong bet.
Well, generally when that happens, the person has a bit of weakness in their hand, and most good players, if they read it correctly, can go over the top and take the pot away. On the other hand, if you're a really good player, you might make that play asking for someone to go over the top of you, so they're making the bet for you and you're going to get all their chips. So there's two ways of looking at that particular situation, and if you're a beginner, that only comes later on in your game. It's very hard. They see things just straightforward, and they have to work with the board, and if they have more experience, then they can take certain pots away where kickers come into play and that sort of stuff, where a lot of them don't really understand that till they develop some sort of style.
Well, Mate, the pot got checked around, and Mate backed into a flush, a king-high flush. She bet, and she did not get a call, and she takes it down there. Now, for everyone out there, word is that Shirley Rosario is going to play in this game at some point. We're not exactly sure when.
Well, she's the most experienced player.
Yeah.
Here comes Cindy.
Oh, there you go.
They sat down.
Now, no one really heard that, but our host Donna said the money didn't really matter. The object was to win the pink chips. But, well, I guess that is one way of thinking of it, Mel, but of course that is real money in the pots.
Yes. I'm sure somebody else will be happy to buy it off her on the table.
Now, that person that we're hearing in our ears, that's Donna, the game host, but the people out there cannot hear what she is saying in our ears, so we sometimes have to repeat
I know
that.
Donna pretty well.
Yeah. And we got a flop here, 7-4 deuce.
Yeah.
And it looks
Marie
like
is in front with this particular flop.
the turn is a 6. And Marie in seed 8 continues to have the best hand with top pair. She picks up a gut shot as well, and she bets $5 now.
I think everyone's going to fold here. So.
There you go.
The only hand that could have called was seed 5, but she doesn't want to risk any money.
Now let's talk about the strategy of this game, Mel. Normally, restricted buy-in, no-limit games start you off relatively short-chipped, and in this game, people are really short-chipped. You only can start with 20 times the big blind, and normally what will happen is people will start to gamble it up a little bit, and then as the night rolls forward, then you can start to play a little bit more no-limit because you can actually make moves to get people off of hands. But once you start the game in a restricted buy-in, no-limit game, it's kind of tough.
Yes, I can understand the reasons for it and the reasons that it should be changed a little bit, because if somebody's really stuck and they're after 3 or 4 pull-ups, it's very hard to get even with $40 in front of you.
Right.
So I think they should make some sort of equation that if you rebought 3 times, then the 4th time you can have three rebuys to give yourself a chance, or a double rebuy to give yourself a chance to get your money back.
And I think the way that this game works is if you go below $20, you can bring your stack up to 60. Or if anytime you go below 20, you can bring it up to 60. So you go broke, you can bring it up to 60. Get to 20, you can bring it up to 60. So that's kind of a way.
Well, that's a little bit better,
Yeah.
but I think twice the buy-in, or a double add-on, or whatever you want to call it, might give that person a better opportunity, as long as they don't go broke too quick.
Yeah. Now, Marisol has top pair, and she bet right away $3. And she got a call by Laura with a gut shot with Queen 9. And Marisol's going to bet again $4. Laura's going to call with that straight draw again. She's going to need to spike a 10 here. And it doesn't come. The river's a 3. Marisol continues to bet. And it's just a case like Mel right here. If both players had $5,000 in front of them as opposed to $10 in front of them, or a gross amount compared to what the big blind is, Laura might be able to make a move there when she missed her draw on the river to get somebody off of a weak king. But when you're in a game like this, when you're so short-chipped, her raising $8 more isn't necessarily going to get somebody off at King 8 there in that spot.
You're quite right, but everything's relative. I mean, the people that play this size game, $40 or $60 is a lot of money to them.
Right.
So it's probably the same ratio as playing a 1,500 game and sitting with 5,000 on the table. Some people probably think that's too little. You know, they probably want to sit with 10 or 15. But the art of execution, and to get someone to put their money in with the worst hand, or to get it called, whether you have the nuts or you're trying to make it a bluff. I don't think it comes into this game at all, but mostly in the bigger games. These women are playing quite cautiously at this moment in time, and we're not seeing too many clashing hands.
No, not yet. We got a bet and 2 calls, and the river is a 3. And it looks like Marisol, she's going to continue to lead with ace 5. She bets $9 in the river, and she gets Marla to muck the best hand.
Yeah.
She had 7-10, so a good aggressive play there, takes it down.
Yep.
And again, we are doing what we are calling a live action tournament, but it is not a tournament. It is a no limit restricted buy-in hold'em game. The players that win the most pots will get prize money at the end of the night. Each time someone wins a pot, they win a marker chip, which is right to the dealer's on his right hand right there. And it looks like it's a blue marker chip tonight.
I think for the English viewers that want to watch this program, and for mostly beginners in England, if they're watching it and they would like to learn to play the game, especially the women players, this is a good opportunity for them to feel at home, because this will make them realize that they can also play in these type of tournaments or in these sort of cash games.
Cash games, yeah.
And get more experience, and then mix it with the best in wherever they would like to play, in any casino or any poker room.
Right.
So this is a good start for them to watch and learn, and at least they know they can come and play it at the bike.
You can always come to the bike and play.
That's correct.
Now, Mary flopped top 2 pair here, and she's going to drive hard here on the turn. She bet 20. She flopped kings and 4s, and she bets it, and she takes it down.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's a very strong bet. You know, it's you're not going to get called when you do that. So she needs to try and extract this in case someone's got a king in that situation.
You also talk about maybe trying to bet an amount where you can get information. A bet that size almost could only be called by a deuce. Now, you try to bet the least amount of your stack to try to get the information that you're looking for. Now, if she throws in or moves all in there in that spot, and someone has a deuce, well, she's pretty much done. She's way behind. But no one had the deuce there in that case. Ooh, we got ace king of clubs. There's a flashy hand. Big slick suited over there in seat 9.
Which is Laura.
Yeah.
Lauren, is it?
Laura.
Laura.
And she made it $6, a standard raise. And seat 4 is going to call here with ace 10 offsuit. And Cindy's in there with a little suited connector, 6-7 of hearts. I like Cindy's hand better than ace 10, calling a raise. And she's flopped the flush draw here, king 9-6. And she has a pair as well, Mel, and she's going to bet right into it, 6-7 of hearts.
It's the correct play, actually.
And ace-king just calls. Wow, she just calls with the ace-king. And Marisol calls with ace-high from behind. The turn's a 3 of clubs. Now Laura's picked up the nut flush draw as well with the ace-king. She's got clubs. And Cindy continues to bet. She bets 6, and Laura is all in for 6 with the ace-king.
Well,
Marisol calls here as well.
Cindy wasn't thinking at all in this situation.
And the river is a queen.
Looks like the ace-king's going to take it down.
Yeah.
Ace 10 is a very bad call here.
Yeah.
I mean, she has no business being in the pot on the flop, never mind the turn. So
look at this.
She's
gonna
thinking.
She's gonna try to steal it though. She bets $6. Now the only thing here, Mel, is that Laura was all in on the hand, so Marisol pretty much bet Cindy off of the hand, but she still had to contend against Laura in the main pot, and she couldn't beat anything.
Well, you see, the thing is, if it's tournament play or a cash game, whatever, j- betting into a dry pot is what she did,
Right.
is non-productive. So in this particular case, she should really check the hand down because there's no gain for her because she can't win the pot,
Right.
and she's letting someone else back in the tournament again.
I mean, theoretically, the only thing that could do was possibly protect Laura's hand in seat 9. Now, obviously, she had the winning hand
So we
the whole
got
time.
Ace Queen here in seat 2 against Ace Jack in seat 3, which is Charity. Charity's probably going to play her first hand. She's probably got her style of play from Robert Turner,
Yeah.
who's well rounded in all games,
Yeah.
and with his input, I think she needs to loosen up a little bit because Chip Burner does that a lot.
Well, she limped in there with the ace queen and clothing raised, and Charity calls.
Yeah, she's actually got a good spot here because if a queen or jack comes, that hand is in bad shape.
Well, ace king 10 on the flop.
Wow,
Laura
flopped it straight.
has flopped the nut straight there.
Yeah. We haven't got a hand on the board, but she's just flopped a monster.
She's bet $4 here.
Okay.
And
King.
seat 1 lays down the king.
Yeah, matey lays down the king.
Now look
She's-
at Charity. Charity's going to raise here with top pair in the gut shot.
straight. Yeah, she's trying to isolate ace jack over here, and
Well, clothing calls here with the ace jack.
that's a really bad call in my estimation because she's up against a better ace, and she's up against a flush draw at the same time. So
Now Laura, she just called the raise. She did not push all in, so we still have money behind here. The turn is a 7. We're looking at the biggest pot of the night, probably about $50. Wow, Laura's called the flop and now bets into the turn. And Charity is all in here, it looks like.
yeah, this
Clothing calls, $5 bet, and the river is a 10. And Laura, now she pushes all in with the straight.
well, that's really not a very good bet on the river. She should have put some more money in the pot because the pot was big enough for her to get called. And this way, she's given her a chance. She might still get called because
She did
got
get a
ace
call.
jack. Oh,
Yeah,
she did.
get a call.
Yeah.
And she's won the whole thing, and that's about a $90 pot right there.
That's the biggest pot of the day.
I was thinking, Mel, that on the flop there, she bet she got a raise in between and then an overcall behind. Would that be a time for her to even push harder there with 2 hearts on the flop?
Well, too hard. She should have moved in on that hand in case she's on a draw, make her pay to hit it because you can't let someone come in very cheaply. Because you're not, if you got Queen Jack with a Queen of Hearts, she may have 2 pairs or she may have a flush draw, and you're letting it come in for 6 when there's about $80 in the pot.
Right.
Well, it's pretty hard to put it down when you're getting over 10 to 1 your money.
Right.
know.
That's what we talk about, the amount of money that's in the pot relative to bet size in this game.
So here we got again, seat 9 has picked up 2 aces.
It's
Is it?
ace deuce.
Oh, sorry, ace 2.
Yeah, it looks like
Yeah.
2 aces. The great starting Omaha hand.
Omaha low hand.
Yeah. Queen 7 here on the flop.
Whoever bets this is going to take the pot down. Oh, there's a 7 out there. Okay.
And Marisol, again, she's played pretty aggressive. She betted in position with nothing, and she takes it down.
She might be one of the points leaders. With
Yeah, she probably is one of the chip leaders. I would imagine her to be a favorite, just looking at her style so
just
far.
for the overall chip lead.
Yeah.
And I would say Laura in seat 6 might be the other one contesting it.
And, of course, we will periodically update you throughout the night who is leading in marker chips. Again, because it's a little bit difficult to eye it out. But so, limp, and a limp. And we're going to see... Ooh, look at this. The big blind is going to raise. She's got ace 10 offsuit. But she only raised at $2 there, Mel. It doesn't drive anybody out of the pot.
No, that's not really a good raise. I mean, she's playing limit hold'em over here.
Yeah.
And that's not the way to try and get people involved. Seat 3 is, Seat 4 is Marisol.
Yeah.
And I say in the money terms, she is the chip leader in money terms. But she's not the points leader at this moment in time. With that one big pot really sewn it up for her. She
Now look
flopped what they call a joint, is like a made hand on the flop.
Right, seat 9 there. And look at this. So Mayte, she actually continued her aggression when she raised out of the blind with the ace-10, and she's going to take the pot down, and she didn't really catch anything. So there you go. You know, we see it often on this show, Mel, where people will raise with not necessarily great hands out of the blinds, like something like ace-10 offsuit out of position. I don't necessarily consider that a great hand. But they fail to follow through with a lead bet on the flop when a scare card comes, like a king. And in that case, she did. I've seen it so many times where someone will raise out of the big blind with almost a garbage hand, and a scary board will come up, ace-king-3, and they don't fire, and they just end up losing.
Well, that's why when you have the button, it's worth a lot more.
Yeah.
And you have position over your opponents, and especially when you have a hand, you're going to get called more likely because they think you're stealing. So you get a lot of gain from both sides. You can either steal the pot, or you might get called when you do have a hand, thinking you're on a steal. So both ways is pretty good.
And we get four-way action in here. Someone brought this one in for a $4 raise. 10-4 king on the flop.
Well, seat 5, which is Marla has got the nut flush draw.
Yeah.
And
she bet $6.
Seat 4 Marisol has got top pair with the king, at the king of spades. So this will be interesting.
Well, Marla bets $6, the semi-bluff, and Marisol calls. The turn is an ace, while Marla's hand just keeps getting stronger and stronger.
Well, this is really ugly for Marisol. I mean, she's not going to like this at all.
And she bets. She bet the turn, and Marla just called. Wow. And the river is a queen. Wow, scary board. Four-liner to a straight there.
Yeah.
And let's see if Marisol continues to bet. She bets again, but she's going to get called. And boy, Marisol plays a really aggressive brand of poker, almost tournament-esque, Mel.
Yes.
And Marla's going to take it.
I think she was hoping there, instead of actually... the other lady had position on her.
Yeah.
So she wasn't gaining anything by actually betting that out, unless you're sure you can take the hand away from your opponent. But she can only get raised in that situation. Now, these women might be really hungry while they're playing for such a long time. So they're all ready to eat and forget about the game for a moment.
Well, usually when people eat, they tend to tighten up a little bit.
Yeah, well, they tend to throw more hands away, actually, when they're eating, But this is a cash game, so you've got to expect that.
Yeah.
Because...
Cindy brought this one in for a raise with ace-deuce suited. Seat 9 is called with pocket fours. Seat 1 has ace-jack of diamonds. And Seat 3's got ace-8, so 3 of the aces are out.
Well, that's not a good sign for an ace to come, so...
Yeah. Deuce-3 king rainbow here on the flop.
It's a very good flop for pair of fours.
Well, Cindy's going to continue with the betting lead. And Laura just calls. I would like to maybe see her raise there with the pocket fours, see where she's at, but she just smooth calls. She had a couple people behind her.
Well, I think the call was correct there. So Cindy's going to obey a pair of deuces.
Yeah, and the turn is...
And she's representing the king, which is pretty strong. She might lay a hand down.
And look at that, Laura. She gets Laura to lay the hand down.
That's right. She got her to lay a hand down.
Yeah. Well, that type of flop, king deuce 3, and you got pocket four. Sometimes we tell people who start off and no limit hold'em kind of to play a game where you raise or fold. And that's what I was saying about the raise. I'd almost rather see her fold or raise rather than just call with a couple people behind you with that board. What do you think about that?
No, I think because if you get golds, you're going to go broke in the hand. So it's not. She's out of position there.
Okay.
So I think she made the right choice there. Because she could have had a weak king in herself. If she had a king in her hand and she raises, then by all means, yes.
Mhm.
A little better kicker or stronger kicker. Again, Laura's come in with King Jack of Spades.
Yeah, and Cindy raised here with Ace, Nine of Diamonds.
So,
And Pocket Eights is called in seat 5,
Seat
and
5.
Laura's call with King Jack.
right. Interesting.
6-4-6 here on the flop. Pocket
This
Eights.
is a big flop for Pocket Eights. In fact, Pocket Eights should really put a big bet in here to isolate the players out of the spot.
But look at this. Cindy's going to continue with the betting lead. Ooh, and Laura's going to call with a couple of overcards.
I think the 2-8 should move all in right here
Let's see what she does.
because that's the way she's going to win the pot.
And she's going to raise.
Yeah, but she should move all in. She shouldn't give them a chance to see any more cards. Because
18 total.
Well, the bet looked like it was $6. She's made it 18, so she's raised it $12 here. Gets the Ace 9 out.
this is not a.
Oh, what is Laura doing over there? She's going to peel with a couple of overcards.
I think she's just gambling. I don't
Yeah.
think she's making the right play at all.
Oh, the turn's a deuce.
She
That
must
doesn't-
move in here to isolate that.
And she
thing.
does. She moves
That's
all
correct.
in.
The right play.
She moves all in with the Pocket Eights.
She's got to make her pay to hit the card if she wants to call. And she hasn't got an ace in her hand. Actually, this should be a fold right here. Because she may not even think her hand's any good if she hits the jack. Just like the ace-jack pass earlier on.
And she's going to muck.
She was itching to call that hand, I would say.
But these are bigger than what I've had.
And Marla, I think she shows the eights.
That was a good pot for seed 5.
Not the blue one. Not the blue. Not the blue. I can't always count that way. Oh, that's true.
Is Charity still in the game? Or is
Yeah,
she-
Charity's still in the game over there in seat 2.
She's been very quiet so far.
Button is in seat number 4. Laura there in seat 9 has limped.
Lauren seat 9 is done with the ace of spades, 8 of clubs.
Mate is limped with Jack 7 of hearts. King 9 in seat 3 and 9-5 off suit, seat 4. And the blinds are in, so we've got 6-way action here.
Yep.
And the flop comes Queen 4-8.
$5.
And
That really has not. That's only helped the ace 8 so far
Yeah.
in this hand.
Laura bets with the ace 8. Wow, Mate calls with Jack 7 of hearts. Not Mate, excuse me. Mate calls with Jack 7 of hearts. The turn is an 8, and Laura's hit trip 8s now.
She should really check here. Because she won't get any action out of this. She might get the go. Oh, that's.
She bets a little bit, looks like $5.
Yeah.
And Mate lays it down.
Yeah.
And the rabbit cam showed an ace
On
of
the
clubs,
river,
so she would have filled
should
up.
have filled up. So my thought of checking on the turn would have been pretty
Yeah.
big. Yeah.
Pretty tricky.
Yeah.
And again, we can see that she wins one of those marker chips there, a blue
I can't even answer
marker chip.
there.
Person that wins the most marker chips at the end of the night will win a $100 prize. Second place will win a $50 prize, and third place will win a $25 prize.
No, why not? You've been playing poker for a long time.
Okay. We can see some of these hands. So seed 4s.
6 players.
6-way action limped around.
Wow, there's a lot of mixed hands coming up here.
Queen Jack 6 on the flop. Couple people have queens here in Mal, seat 3 and seat 8. And Mary's going to bet with Queen 5. Laura's going to call with second pair, Jack 8. And Cloving there with the Queen 10. She's going to raise with top pair.
That's correct. She needs to raise to isolate the people in the pot. And she's doing that correctly.
And Mary with the Queen 5 calls, and Laura with Jack 8 calls.
Well,
The turn is a 9.
Jack 8 is actually a bad call.
Check, check. And now Cloving's picked up an open-end straight draw with Queen 10. And she's going to continue to
15.
bet. She's going to bet 15.
Yeah, that's a very strong bet, and that's good because she knows she has the best time at the moment. She
And-
doesn't even call him.
And look at this. Mary lays down the weak queen. Now, for people who are more experienced, they might say that's a pretty easy lay down, but I've seen games up to $500 unrestricted buy no limit where we don't see people get off a top pair that easily.
Well, and she could be drawing dead if her opponent's got
Right.
King 10,
Yeah.
or if she's got 2 pair already. She has no win situation. It doesn't have any other draw in her hand. So,
Plus, she's out of position as well.
that's a lay down. If she called that, it's a very brave call.
So 16 to 0.
Seat 1 has a pretty powerful hand. She's got ace queen over here.
Hi.
She's going to make it 5 to go.
$5.
Ace queen offsuit.
I reckon she might get a walk here.
Looks like it.
She got the walk.
Looks like she's going to get that walk.
Got the walk, and she's picked up another chip to add to her stack of
Yep.
4, I think, or 3.
Not that $1, huh?
3 chips. Yeah.
Now, the only time that you don't get a marker chip in this game is if the blinds chop it around. If you raise and everyone folds and you don't see a flop, you still get a chip. So that's why seat 1 has got a chip. Because you have made a move to win the pot, even though you haven't seen a flop. And, it's funny, Mel, my co-commentator, Dave, he's a big Chelsea football fan in England.
Right.
And
so am
I know
I.
you're from England.
I'm also a Chelsea fan.
Oh, really?
And they won 2-0 against Sunderland this weekend.
Ah.
So that was a good result. They didn't even play very well, actually.
Get those
Played pretty
Northerners.
ordinary.
2 players.
But it's a long way to go.
Yeah, it's just the season just started.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pocket 3s against King 9. Heads up. King 9 is flopped to straight. Queen, Jack, 10 on the board.
Well, this is an easy lay down for Marie and
Yeah.
with pocket 3. So.
Yeah, there you go. Laura bet and Marie mucked. And Laura takes it down.
Yep.
So, obviously there's been a huge poker boom out here in the U.S. since the 2003 World Series of Poker, the inception of the WPT. Has that boom carried over to England? Obviously, there's a couple of different poker stations.
I think it's gone. It's all over the world now. I don't
Yeah.
think it's just England. It's Europe and Australia and even the Far East. The publicity that's come out of this on television has been enormous, and with online also coming into it, a lot of people are getting more practice, and even if they're in an isolated place, they can still play and learn and just have the comforts of being not being able to get there,
Yeah.
to be playing for as many hours as they like.
The flop.
And, like the bicycle club, I mean, they have all limits, all different type of limit structures, and also a lot of no limit structures, which means you can buy in as little as $100 for a $2 and $3 blind game, I would say,
Yeah.
and you can go as high as a $300 buy-in or a $500 buy-in, and even higher.
Even
So,
higher. Yeah, we have unrestricted no limit
yeah.
Yeah,
games.
as long as you got the people that want to play it, you just put on those tables for them to play the size of the game. Whereas in England and Europe, it's very hard to get those type of games because everything is pot limit, and now there'll be no limit in Europe, basically. And I don't think they have the amount of people like you have in America to play those games.
Yeah, pot limit is not as big here as it is in Europe. But
But it's amazing to see that a lot more women are playing no limit hold'em. 4 years ago, 5 years ago, we had very few women players play no limit hold'em.
we got a limp in there by Marisol with Jack 8 of hearts. Limp by seat 8. Seat 9 on the button's going to come in. And we're going to see 5-way action.
Yep.
Queen 8-9 here on the flop. And
Jack 9 is a pretty strong hand, yeah.
Mary's going to bet here with Queen 10. She's got top pair. Let's see what Charity does with Jack 9. She's going to check call. And we've got three-way action. Marisol's in there with Jack 8. The turn is a 7. And now Queen 10 is open-ended. Laura is out of the hand in seat 9.
$12.
Yeah, it's a $12 bet there with Queen 10.
I think
Charity mucks.
has to muck a hand here.
Yep, she did muck. But Marisol calls with Jack 8. And the river is a 9. And Marisol bets in to the river. She was check calling the whole way. And she bets the river to try to represent the 9 here. And look at this. Mary she's thinking about mucking, but she only has about $8 left. So pot size almost would dictate, I would think, a call. The pot's over $25.
Well, she should have moved it in before, actually. She wouldn't have had to think
And she does
about
call. She does make the call.
So down.
And Mary's going to...
Okay, open it. Wait. No. No. Queen win. Oh, that's
it.
right.
I think she had to leave
Yeah.
the floods with Katrina.
Yeah, seat number 3 over there. Clothing, we want to say. She's actually from New Orleans, and she survived Hurricane Katrina. She was flooded in her house. She had to wade through the flood water with a couple of kids, get to a shelter, and she got out of town. Isn't that
And
incredible?
4 dogs, she told me.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's unbelievable.
And the water was about waist high. She
Waist
said.
high?
Yeah.
Wow,
It was climbing like 5 inches
yeah.
every half an hour. So
That's unbelievable. She made it out there with the kids and the dogs, and she's here playing some poker at the bike. She used to be a dealer, I believe, at one of the Gulf casinos that pretty much got destroyed, and she's looking for a dealing job out here now, and that's what she's doing in L.A.
The pot has been raised to 4 chips.
okay, so
It's going to raise there by seat 9,
with Ace of Diamonds, 8 of Hearts.
$4.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I was thinking about my fillet. Sorry.
And she's going to get called in several spots. 5-way action. It's a $20 pot. King, 7, deuce. Couple of diamonds. Mary's got a flush draw over there in
Right,
CD.
yeah, that's right. And Cindy's got top pair.
And Sydney's going to bet right out here. King with the king high. Bets $5. Mary calls. And Laura's got ace 8. She's going to make the call with the ace of diamonds. And again, I get back to it, Mel, about pot size and the amount of the bet. The pot size was $20, and Sydney threw a $5 bet in there. Now the turn is a 10. Cindy's going to continue to bet.
That would be 6.
She bets $6, and she gets called by the flush draw. Now the pot is $50.
No limit.
It's a $50 pot to the river. And the river is a 6. Mary did not get there, and Cindy continues to bet with the weak king.
$9.
And she's going to take it down. There you go. You know, it was interesting, Mel, that we had a game on last night, Poker Blues Whale Game, which was a form of restricted buy-in, no limit. It's the biggest form I have ever seen spread in a casino. It was a $5,000 max buy-in, and the blinds were 5,100. And again, it was a restricted buy-in game. So you only got about 50 times your big blind. I mean, it's almost the equivalent to playing a $200 no limit game with a $4 big blind. You know?
Did it go up or did it stay the same?
Well, after the third buy-in, you could buy back in for 10,000.
So, but the limits were the same all the time.
Yeah, the
so
blinds
it
were the
was
same.
Freeze out, in other words.
No, it was a cash game.
Yeah, it's cash game
Cash
freeze out. You had to put more money on the table if you lost all your money.
Well, I mean, you could, but you had the option. It was just a normal restricted buy-in, no limit cash game.
Okay, 4 players.
Now, seat 4 raised here with pocket 6s, I believe. And Seat 9's got pocket 8s.
$2 all in.
Does she make a move?
And Marisol's got, she's in for $2 all in.
Okay, 4 left.
Seat 5
on a
called,
side
Cindy
pot.
called,
And you get
and
to go
Laura
first
called.
now.
The turn is a king.
Especially.
Check to you.
See if this one gets checked around here. And it does. Marla's picked up an open-ended straight draw on Seat 5.
There was no action.
And here we go to the river. The river is a 6. And look at this Marisol. She backs into a set.
Oh, she's going cheap now.
Now, here you go. Here's another idea what you're talking about here, Mel. Sydney's kind of betting into a dry pot. There's a main pot. There is no side pot. She's building a side pot
Okay, you're gonna win
with
your
Queen
side
5 here. She does have a pair of 5s, but she's bet, and she's going to lose the main pot.
Queen with a 5 and a set of 6s.
Nice, Lauren. I thought you were betting the jack.
So there you go. Marisol survives.
What if she's the points leader with the chips?
Yeah, we're going to get that chip count up here pretty soon. The amount of people that are winning the action chips. So, Mel, you said that you started to play more cash games recently than tournaments.
Yeah, I'm cutting down on tournaments.
And the main reason for that is...
Well, the numbers are growing. It's a lot tougher. There's more information out there for people to read books, computers, television.
You find that there is not as much dead money as there was in the past?
Oh, no, that's not the case. There's more dead money in the side games than there are in tournaments.
Okay, right, that's what I mean, in the tournaments now. So you think there's...
But also the tournaments, you need a lot more luck now. The skill will get you to a certain level or a certain, spot. But there comes a time when you got those 50-50 hands, or you have to win them. If you're behind, you got to win them. If you're in front, you got to hold up. So the luck factor has increased to probably about 80%, in my estimation.
Hey, young lady, you're first.
Some people may disagree with me, but I've seen too much of it now.
Look at this. Mary is backed into a straight, and she moves all in here on the river with Queen 10. Don't exactly know what she was doing in the hand on the flop, and Marisol's going to get a bad beat there. Mary's going to take it down with the straight. Queen high. Queen 10.
And the what commission?
And Marisol had bet that hand throughout the hand. On the flop, she had top pair. She bet it on the turn.
Miracle River. Nothing
And
special. Yeah.
again, Miracle River there. Gives Queen 10 the straight.
Thank you very much.
I don't think she's thinking very hard.
She delivered that king high straight.
Well, this is because it's, they're all pretty new to the game,
Yeah.
and we can't expect them to see things very clearly at this stage. They're still learning, and the main thing here is that they're all having fun. So
40?
when you're having fun, then you can, and it's not a lot of money, so they can call and play any cards they like just to find out, to learn,
Pot has
basically.
been
So that's one way of
raised
learning
to
how to play
the
Northern
standard
Hold'em.
4.
Unless you have a really good teacher, then it'll save you a lot of money long term. But you still got to learn to avoid those areas where you shouldn't be in a pot, or
5 players here.
you don't have the best hand, and you should be able to read those things.
Well, Laura in seat 9 raised it to $4 with pocket 10s, and she didn't seem to drive that many people out of here. And the flop comes King 5 deuce.
$5.
And Mary's played pretty solid all night. She bets with top pair, and she's bet again with top
We
pair
know
with
the
King
field
9.
ends
Pocket
with
10s
3.
calls. And Marisol calls up in position with the club draw. The turn is a 6. Mary's going to continue to bet.
Okay, it's this many. 10.
I think 2 10s should be throwing a hand away here right now.
Oh, she's called again here.
Yeah. She doesn't like to put too many hands down.
And here we go with the river. The river is a queen.
That's ugly for Queen 3 of clubs there.
If anyone cocktail,
Yeah, she might. She's going to make a bet here, and she might get called by the queen. Let's see. It's a $20 bet here on the river.
Is that 20?
I'm guessing it's 20. Yep.
And she's thinking about calling here. $20 bet into about a $40 pot, so it's $60 pot, 20 to call for Marisol.
She actually had not a bad hand on the turn. She had a straight draw and a flush draw.
Yep. And she picks. She's going to make the call there,
What's it
Mel.
look like?
And King 9 is going to
A
be good.
cowboy with a
Like you said,
nine
she
king.
picked up the gut shot on the turn with her clubs. And might have been a time for her to make a move there on the turn over the top, but I don't necessarily know if she had enough money to get Mary off the hand with King 9. There we
I
go.
think seat 4, Marisol, is a really... Seat 4, is it?
Yeah.
Or seat 8. We're talking about.
Well,
The lady just won the pot. Seat 8.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think she's a pretty solid player compared to the rest of them.
Yeah,
she
I
only
mean-
bets her top pairs.
Yeah, look at this. She's stacked enough the blue
And,
chips. And
They're
think-
not really watching it to see that she's doing that. They should be taking that information in, knowing that when she bets, she has top pair.
Marisol's going to short buy for $25. And here we go again. Laura this time's picked up pocket nines, and she makes it $4. Kind of like what you're saying. I think she's playing limit hold'em now.
Yeah. She should really be putting a little bit more pressure on the pot. People coming in too cheap. And she doesn't have those big hands. She has middle of the road pairs,
Right.
which unless you flop a set, they're not going to help you. You know, most of the time you're going to lose the pot against 3 and 4 people in the pot.
Well, she's going to get it. Only
Three
two
of us
two
here.
people called, so we're 3 ways here. $12 pot. And King Queen over there in seat 5 is out flop pocket nines. King 5-5.
And the same story. She bets the top pair again.
Well, and it looks like the same story. She's going to call with second pair to the board.
We're going to make it a smooth 10.
Actually, she's going to raise this time, Mel. This time she's going to raise. She looked like she was coming out to call. Oh, and seat number 5 is going to make the call.
What's the flop again?
Flop is King 5-5.
That's a bad call by 6-7.
Well, actually, you know what? Mary is making a move here. We had that mixed up a little bit, Mel. Mary bet into the flop with 6-7. Laura raised her. King Queen called, and now she's trying to re-raise from up front with 7-6. So she's making a stone cold bluff at it, and she's not. She doesn't really have much anything.
Yeah, we got it wrong there.
Yeah. Ooh, the turn is an ace. Let's see if... Oh, she's going to shut down now. She checks. And it gets checked to King Queen, and she's going to bet now.
Yeah. She's a pretty solid player so far. She hasn't played too many hands.
Can't do that. Can't reach back.
Sure you
I'm sorry.
Only if you raise.
How can 6-7 call here? What is she thinking over there in
I
seat 8?
think she's maybe made a mistake. I think she thinks she's got a 5.
I think she thinks she probably has a 5. She must, right?
Yeah.
We can see that she has a 6,
Maybe
but
she needs to take her sunglasses off. It doesn't help her.
I could see you were going to do that.
yeah, I mean, the way that she's played, Mel, from what we've seen of her, seat 8 seems pretty solid. You've got to think that she's misreading her hand
She's
here.
misreading her hand. She read the 7 of spades for the 5 of spades, I reckon.
Yeah,
Okay, here's our
And
side.
she hasn't gone back to look at her cards either.
yep. And the river is a jack.
Okay, on the side, young lady.
And the 2 9s hasn't put anything down.
Okay then.
Well, the 2 9s are all in. King Queen. Now,
Cowboy.
they flopped over King Queen. Oh, she doesn't.
9.
Oh my God.
She didn't. She was shaking her head there, Mill, when Marla flopped over King Queen.
All right, you're
Mary was
stuck with
shaking
the
her
whole
head,
thing.
thinking she didn't have the best hand. So we're a little bit confused on that one. It's a little
Well,
bit
there's
strange.
2 overcards there.
Yeah.
There's a 5 and there's no 1 overcard and the ace of diamonds. So.
Well, I mean, when seat 5 flipped over King Queen, seat number 8 there, Mary, she was shaking her head like she knew she didn't have the best hand, like the king beat her. So you wonder if she did read her hand. That's what I was confused about.
I think she might have misread her hand. There's no way she would be in the spot.
Here we go with the chip count.
Okay.
This is the live action chip count. So Marisol, who has actually been down a couple of buy-in. She's down about $80. She actually has the pot lead with 5 chips. We're talking about how aggressive she is. Laura also has 5 in seat 9. Mate's got 4 over there in seat 1.
And seat 8 is Marie, who's got 4.
Yep, and Charity does not have anything right now.
Well, she actually played about 3 hands,
Yeah.
and she lost both times with top pair,
Yep,
and the other time she had a pair and a straight draw, and
ladies.
she had to give it up on the turn,
Yeah.
which was the correct play. So she's had no luck so far. If you're card dead, which can happen in no limit hold'em, and some of these new players need to know what card dead means. You may have a period where you do not pick up any type of hand for you to play with.
Okay.
So
Lone stranger here.
even when you do pick up a hand, you might be in a 3 or 4 way action pot, and you might hit part of that flop and still come out second best. And unfortunately, that's what's happened to Charity, because she's actually played a lot of premium cards and good cards, totally opposite to what Robert would play.
yeah, well, we know how Robert
So,
would play. That's
if
for
Robert,
sure.
if you're listening, I think you need to take some tips from Charity, although she is the shortest stack right now.
That's what I thought.
Well, you always love to see Robert Turner come into a cash game. That's for sure. He's a great tournament player, but we've seen it time and time again on the show where great tournament play, especially no-limit play, does not necessarily translate to good no-limit cash play.
Well, in most tournaments, it doesn't transfer to playing well in cash games.
Yeah. Jack 6-6 here on the flop. The pot was limped around. 2 people have diamond draws, seat 1 and seat 5. And Marla's going to bet $5 there with the diamond draw. Laura calls with ace-7. Wow.
I think she has a little bit of gambling in her. She likes to be involved in a lot of pots.
And
She
the
just likes to play.
The king-high flush draw mucked over there in seat 1, and now Marla's picked up a pair with her flush draw, and she's in position, and she's going to bet here again. She's got 8-9 of diamonds, and ace-7 calls again, Mel. Wow. And the river is a diamond, and seat 1 would have had the king-high flush, but she mucked it on the flop. And Marla bets 20 here on the river with her flush, and she does not get a call.
Yeah, this is a bad pass by seat 1.
Yeah.
She should be putting her money in to gamble with this hand.
With the flush draw, the king-high flush draw?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a cash game after all, so if it was a tournament, it might have been right for her to pass.
Right.
But in a cash game, she could have actually played this hand. It was given an opportunity to win a big pot.
$2? Say so.
Looks like seat 3 has got ace 4 of spades, and seat 9 has king of spades, 10 of diamonds.
5 players.
5-way action. Queen 8-4 on the flop.
Seat 4 is, yeah, she's made a pair.
Still 5.
Seat 3.
And Laura calls, seat 9.
Oh, they both got a 4 each there.
Yep, ace-4, ace-4, and Laura's call with king 10 again. With nothing. The turn is a 5.
Ace 4 of spades got a free roll here.
Still 5.
She bets 5. Marisol calls.
See, she can't put a hand down. See.
Wow. And she calls.
This
She's
is
just trying
unreal.
to... She's got a pair draw.
Well, if she hits it, she's going to win the pot. But
And look at this. The king comes on the river.
yeah,
Wow.
well,
Wow, and Clothing's going to continue to bet here.
Sorry, guys.
And she's going to bet, looks like 20. Well, I mean, if Laura called all the way here with king 10, you got to figure she's going to call on the river here, right?
well, it looks like it.
Yeah.
I've been spending too much time with Charity.
So it's a $20 bet. Maybe she doesn't think that her hand would win in a showdown if it got checked here on the river.
Call this all in.
Laura's going to make the call there, and she's pretty much all
You're
in.
going to get a $6 rebate.
I think one of the
All right, what do we got,
interesting
ladies?
things about watching this for the newcomer
Cowboy
Yeah.
with a 10 and a queen.
is that most of these women are enjoying themselves playing and they are involved, learn the game basically. So we can't be too harsh on them to expect them to play at a different level
Yeah.
when you're playing for a few bucks. So
Yeah.
I think it's just a lot of fun, and it makes. See, now they've all settled down. They're all more comfortable now. They're not nervous anymore. So they come here to play. They're not really. The deal is not whether you win or lose, but just to play and have fun.
Right.
So that's exactly what they're doing. And it's only the ones that feel they have to prove that they can play, because when the hands turn over, some of them are quite frightening, if you like. But they're all enjoying it basically, and they're not betting correctly some of the time, because if you put a bigger bet in, then you isolate your opposition. But if you start making it cheap, then you're going to get a lot of people playing for all sorts of hands. Because they're always getting the right price, knowingly or unknowingly, they're getting the right price.
Right, because they're just betting small amounts into
Yeah.
larger pots.
Yeah.
Pretty good flop here for 10 Jack of Diamonds, Ace King 6. Now Clothing, she's going to make a big bet. She's got Ace Rag,
His name's Greg.
and Marisol,
All
she's
in.
going to call all in with Ace Queen.
Actually, it's good. So this is an easy pass for 3-4, but I don't know if she will.
No, she did make the call. Yeah.
So
There's a call, a bet, an all in, a call.
And Laura makes a call
there's a lot
here.
of diamonds out there.
Yeah.
You know? There's 2, 4, 6, 8 diamonds out.
We're talking about the biggest pot of the night here. We've got about $100 in the pot
$10.
now. Marisol's all in seat 4, and we're going to build a side pot. Clothing, Laura, and Mary.
20, 20, 4 players, $10. Here's our side.
Turn is a 3.
Check.
Well, she's picked up a pair, so she can move with 3 or a 4 as well.
Checked around, and the river's a 5.
That's unlucky.
And
Yeah.
Ace Queen is going to be good here to take everything.
Yep.
And there is no money unless somebody puts money in on the side here.
Okay, ladies, what do we got here? Side pot first. Aces. Aces.
Or maybe there is a slight side pot there, Mel. I think the bet was a little bit too much. So Clothing will take down the side with Ace 7, and Marisol will take down the bigger
No, the
main
ace,
pot.
Ace Queen will take it down.
Yeah, Marisol will take the main pot with Ace Queen, and Clothing will take down the side with Ace 7 there.
Correct, yeah.
Yeah. Of course, if you want to make questions, comments, suggestions, you can go to us on 2plus2.com, click on World Poker Tour and other televised tournaments. Click on the Live at the Bike thread for 9:15. We are right there. You can also email us at liveatthebike.com, and I've seen some discussion that I was ignoring you guys out there in internet land. I apologize, but this game is going to be broadcast.
Charity's actually picked up a hand.
Yeah, she's got Ace King.
So we're going to see her in
Pot
this
has been
spot.
raised to $4.
She makes it $4 here, Mel.
That's a very small
Yeah,
line.
she's so short chipped. I'd imagine she could have moved all in there for maybe 18, but she makes
She
it.
might just win the blinds here, but I think she's had someone coming cheap.
Well, there's a three-way action here. Oh, she's picked up top pair. Ace Jack 6.
She should win this hand.
Yeah, she's
a-
gonna push the rest.
Yeah, that's a sign of a strong tight player. Doesn't want to take too many baits, but just want to take the pot down. And obviously, she needs to win the first hand she's playing in,
19.
because it always helps win your first pot.
And that's her first red chip. She's
Come on,
saying.
Charity, you can do it. Go. You're on the board, as they say.
Thank you very much.
There you go with the first red chip. I think Charity and Robert Turner have 3 little kids. 2 now, Mel. About 4, 5, and 6 years old. So she's a busy person with mothering, going to school, and being the wife of a chip-burning tournament poker player.
Robert's a nice.
Pot's
Actually,
raised.
Robert Turner is a very. He's got a lot of vision in ideas and a lot of experience. And
Okay, the 4 of us are here.
He's always motivated with new ideas, which is very good.
Ace Jack 4 here, a couple of clubs. Again, we have two people with a club draw. Marla's got a second pair in the club draw. Mate has got a gut shot in the club draw.
And Laurie's got top pair.
Yeah,
with the ace.
and Laurie's going to bet with the ace.
Whatever you say.
Boy, Marla's hand's almost...
And there's two of them who got a pair of jacks at the same time.
Yeah. Wow, this is going to be a big pot. Boy, Marla's hand's almost big enough to check raise here with against all those people. But she just
Laurie in
calls.
seat 6.
Any chips?
The turn's a 5, and now two people have flushes.
We're going to see an all-in here very shortly.
Now, Marla has checked her flush from up front, so she's most likely going to check raise, I would imagine. And Mate has bet with the flush in seat 1.
Yes, sir.
So these are one of the issues when you play
Peach.
these two suited connectors, as we call it.
And look at this.
Generally, somebody's going to pay the price because
The Food
they
Network.
shouldn't have been in the pot in the first place. So
Marla has, I believe, she has just called here. Wow, she just called with the flush. And the river's a deuce.
Because she doesn't have a big hand.
Well, now she bets. So she called the turn, and now she bets all in. And
Reggie.
I think she was waiting to see if she had a...
Mate is going to take it down there with the queen high flush. Seat
That's
1.
enough flush.
Thank you very much.
So there you go.
Perfect.
Okay.
So Mel, you're going to be heading out of the booth. I want to appreciate you stopping by and giving some expert commentary. Again, we're going to be on here in England, so I'm sure it's going to be a thrill for some people over there to hear you talk.
Yeah. It'd be nice for the
Thank you,
the
Caroline.
new ones that want to learn to play,
Yeah.
and for them to get a little bit of confidence, and by watching this and seeing how these, some are novices, some have played for a while, and how they're having a good time, and they can do the same thing, especially if they come to this side of the world, which is catering for all types of people, and this is a great learning cove, and it's a good starting point for people to play for not a lot of money basically, and have a lot of fun. So they will get a lot of experience in this area, and I think hopefully some of the people watching this may have their own private home games or come to the Bicycle Club and enjoy themselves.
Well, great. Thanks a lot, and good luck with all your cash and tournament game ventures. And that was Mel Judah. I was a thrill to have him in the booth.
Blind and big. Thank you very much.
The night is young.
The night is young. Very good. Thank you.
So again, we are here live at the bike. We are doing a $40 no-limit cash game. Blinds for this game are $1 and $2. The blue chips are white $1 chips, and we are doing a live action tournament
Lovely lady.
where first prize is $100, second is $50, and third is $25. What does a live action tournament mean, you say? Each time you win a pot, you will win a red marker chip. And the people with the most marker chips at the end of the night will win those cash prizes. So you're looking to win a lot of pots here in the game tonight. Stimulates action. Looks like we got a limp and a limp.
5 players.
5-way action. $10 pot to the flop. King 7-7, rainbow flop. Seat 8's got trip 7s, Jack 7 diamonds. She's going to slow play it from up front, play a little bit of a trapping game. Do have some aggressive players in the game like seat 4 who may bet there with nothing. Well, she's not going to. But Marla's going to bet here with ace high. She's going to bet $6. See how Mary plays this in seat 8. She's going to smooth call. And Cindy smooth calls. She has a king. The turn is a 6. And now Cindy's going to bet.
$8.
She's going to bet $8. Mary just smooth calls again. And Marla is done with the hand. And the river is a 6. Oh, Cindy's going to bet here. She's going to move all in with the king. Just with the king, and she's in trouble. Mary's got the 7.
Going all in?
And she's going to instantly
Okay,
call.
ladies, what do we got here? Yeah.
And I think Cindy knows she's in trouble.
Okay,
Turn 'em up.
let's see what we got. There's a 7 full here and a cowboy.
And Cindy said that she thought she had a 6.
You can rebuy. That's the good news.
But even if she had a 6 there, the 7 would beat King 6, because she would have 6s full of kings, and Mary would have 7s full of 6s.
Because it's more important, I mean, you know.
So again, I have word that Shirley Rosario is going to be in this game at some
Play
point.
this one hand with the
Trying to
left,
get
'cause you're gonna
confirmation
miss
from
your-
somebody out there to help us.
Thank you very much. Because then it's going to cost you more later, so you don't want to do that. Big blind here?
No, we all do it. Yeah, exactly.
Only when I saw the other 6 come up, I was like, fine, and then I just rushed it. And then when I come here to look, I was like, oh, no. That's horrible. I didn't give you my shit.
So the button here is in seat
Okay, young lady,
6.
you're up.
Oh, no.
Take another fillet
Pocket
now.
jacks for seat 3, and that's clothing. Young lady that was displaced in New Orleans.
$10.
She's going to raise it up to
What a great job I have,
$10.
Yeah, but you're not playing by the rules because you see, every time we win.
Marisol's going to call with the Doyle Brunson 10 deuce of diamond.
Oh, they didn't tell me that when I pushed in. On the table, right?
That's during the break, right? Okay.
Okay. You'll be sorry.
And here we go, heads up.
Heads
Jacks
up
against
here.
deuce 10. Jacks has flopped 3 jacks. Jack 8-7 here on the flop, and she's going to check it from up front. Marisol checks right behind her. Marisol has a gut shot straight
The
draw.
house just wants
Turn it
the
to
money.
3.
Gotta do my job.
Marisol bets
$5.
$5. And Marisol is going to muck, and clothing shows trip jacks. 3 jacks. And just like that, I'm going to welcome the Tuckster into the booth.
Thank you, Bob.
Fryman Tuckman.
Hey, hey, hey! How's it going, buddy?
What's going on, Tuckster?
Yeah? I am psyched. Women, money, what a night. Woo!
What a night indeed.
Yeah. I've been told to move over. They're only getting my better half there. There we go. How's Mel?
That was great.
Yeah?
Great. And, of course, you were getting some interviews there because this show will be aired on the Poker Channel.
Yeah, I interviewed some girl that was just passing by because she was cute. She's like, I'm not in the game. I'm like, it's okay. Come here. No problem.
6 players.
So,
Mel Judah.
Yeah, Mel Judah is in the game. We got 6-way action here. You know who we haven't heard from at all tonight? Charity
Turner.
Turner.
I was ripping her in the interview. I was asking
Yeah.
her. I said, what's going on? And she said she couldn't get a pot.
And she
Couldn't get a hand.
Look at this. She's going to bet here. Ace-5.
15.
She does not have the best hand here.
No, she doesn't actually. Marie's got top pair there, huh?
Yeah, Marie in seat 8. And after this hand game, I'm going to fill you in what's been
Wow,
going
and
on.
Marie
Wow.
threw it away.
Well, she is eating. And Mayte threw away the pocket 6s, and Charity is going to take it down.
Thank you.
They've got some, great food out there. Potato crusted sea bass, filet mignon wrapped in bacon. I mean, some really good food. And Charity Turner takes down another pot there. So Mel Judah, I actually played a satellite with him in the World Series,
Yeah.
and it was 3-handed, me, another guy, and Mel. It was a $500 satellite. First place gets obviously $5,000, and I was kind of hoping that the other guy would get knockout Mel.
Yeah.
And sure enough, the other guy gave Mel a bad beat, and I got heads up with the other guy. So,
Well, let me tell you what's been going on in this
happening.
game. Two common problems, Dave.
two common problems.
Now, normally what I say is this pot looks like it's going to be
Okay, we're heads up.
Gonna be heads up here. I don't think that these ladies quite have a concept of how much to bet in accordance with pot size, Dave.
Okay.
We're talking about pots that are $20 and then betting $3 or $4 into the pot, which is a common mistake for beginners.
Right.
Right.
Well, I guess in a game where you're only $40 or $50 deep, it's really tough. I mean, I guess
Yeah.
you're all in every hand, huh?
Well, I mean, you would think so. Some of the other things, obviously, is that some people are calling with pretty inferior hands. I haven't seen extremely weak tight play like I've seen in the past with ladies' nights and the bombshell nights
Right.
and stuff like that. But, I'd say the biggest problem is people just don't really know how much to bet, although Charity does and a couple of the other women
Right.
know how to bet.
Is it similar to like a 3-6 game, I guess, in that sense of...
Yeah, I mean, this game really restricts you unless you get some chips on the table. I mean, you're talking about
Yeah.
getting 20 times the big blind to start with.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
nothing.
that is...
I know a couple of the girls have some chips now, where they have $80 or $100 and they can start playing a little better. But the blinds in this game are 1-2.
1-2.
Okay. That's cool.
Them know.
So how was Mel's commentary?
It's great.
Yeah?
Yeah.
He's really, he is one of the classiest guys I've ever met. I met him a couple of years ago at, actually 3 years ago at the World Poker Tour Invitational. And he was just such a nice guy. We talked for about 10 minutes then. And, every time I see him, we just kind of shake hands. I mean, you can tell he's a Chelsea guy.
Okay, we're gonna give you an option.
I'm sure those people from Arsenal would not be a
Turning
big
in that play here.
big fan of you saying that.
Oh, Arsenal, they've already lost to us this year already.
You have an option before.
To us, you're not even British.
Gonna check?
I can still root for the team.
Yeah.
I mean, when you talk about the Red Sox, you talk about them in first person. Us, like the Red Sox. You don't live in Boston anymore.
Anymore.
Right, so.
Jack 5-5 here on this flop.
Jackson 5 on the flop there. Doesn't help anybody, though.
Turn comes Queen, and that gives Cloving.
Cloving?
Lady from New Orleans. She actually.
name's Cloving.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, she's sweet.
Well, that's how it's spelled. I haven't gotten word that it's not Cloving, so I'm going to assume that that's what it is.
Just
And
the
she
two of
bets.
us.
Clovine.
Clovine.
Clovine. It's like, yeah.
Tasted the fish?
Okay.
Imagine it was EEN, I guess.
Ah.
Clovine.
Mine was
Okay.
nasty.
Wow. Well, I mean, she seems very, she seems like she's in a great mood. She's taking everything in stride, especially considering, supposedly she's lost everything. Her house, her everything. New Orleans, washed away. Wow. So how the hell are you?
Doing well.
Doing good?
Yeah.
Cool.
Of course, I called you on Tuesday night, and I posted up on 2+2 when we were doing one of the repeat episodes about how we were on ESPN Hollywood on Tuesday.
Oh, right.
Short little segment with the Bombshells versus Playmates.
I know, I saw that for a second. Playmates versus Bombshells. How did I miss that night?
You weren't there for that?
What was I doing? I got to talk to our producer.
I did hear my voice for
I
1
know.
second. So I got on ESPN, Dave.
There you go.
There's my goal for life.
Well, Marisol's got top pair here. Actually, she's now got 2 pair, aces and deuces.
And now she's gonna bet, and she's gonna move all in. $8.
All in for $8, and I don't think anybody can call her.
And seat 7, Dave, we're getting word that Cindy has bought in for $60. Of course, when you go below $20 in this game, you can bring your stack up to 60. So anytime you can go down to felt, bring it up to 60. It's just like our 100 game,
Right.
or our 200 game. It gives you the ability to get more chips on the table.
Gotcha.
And
Now-
as the night goes on, you see more chips on the table.
Now, Cindy is actually a poker blue babe. She said that she learned how to play poker watching and talking to Yosh Nakano. Wonder what else Yosh taught her, huh? What? Did I say something?
I don't know what you're talking about.
So I'm just curious. So the night that we had the
Three
Playmates
suited
here,
aces here.
We
Three
had-
suited aces.
I'm sorry, we had Playmates here and Bombshells here.
Yeah.
And you were doing the commentary with who? Do you remember?
I think it might have been with Shirley.
Oh, God, I got to talk to Evelyn. Of all the nights to miss, that was not the one.
King 10-10 here on the flop.
I'll let him see a free one.
Everybody checks around. The turn is the queen. Maytay's picked up a pair.
$5.
But now Marisol has actually, she is very, very aggressive.
Marisol?
Yes, in seat 4, and she bets.
I take requests.
Yeah, I saw her call seat 8 earlier, and seat 8 only turned over top pair with a 9 kicker, and Marisol couldn't beat it.
The river is an 8. Hey, look at this. Clothing's going to bet. She has nothing here, Dave. She's going to try to bet people off of the hand. Now, here's another question of they not necessarily know the pot size. She's bet $10 into about a $30 pot as a
Right.
bluff. And Maytay's going to call down with the queen high.
Tens.
Right. If she had moved in like $40,
Yeah.
she might not have. Exactly.
Yeah.
Good point. That's Maytay. Okay.
Maytay.
And Clovine.
Yeah. Clovine, sorry.
Okay. Whatever happened to, like, Jennifer?
Well, there is a Mary on the table. Although
Mary,
she
okay,
might
there
be
you go.
Marie. I might have been even mispronouncing that name. Having a little trouble with the names tonight. I mean, look at these names. Maytay, Marisol,
And
Clovine.
Will be when?
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock.
Lori,
We'll be here.
Lori, you gonna
Those
play?
are, every hand gets a red chip.
Fancy?
And here we go with an action chip count, Dave. Live action.
Oh, I
market
was
chip count.
wondering. I'm looking at that chip count going.
Marisol.
Wow.
Now, Marisol's actually down for the night in cash, but she has the most chips because she's played it very aggressively, and she's
Right.
in the lead with 7 pots. Mary has 7 pots.
Now, first place
Laura's got
gets
6
what?
pots.
$100, right?
$100. Second place is 50, and third is 25.
Now, I got to tell you, when we had this live action tournament for the $200 game, and I think first place was $200.
Yeah.
In that game, it didn't make as much sense to really play it aggressive because you could lose $600 to try to win $200.
And we saw that happen with one of the
Right.
guys.
But in this
Yeah.
case,
Yeah.
to play it aggressive because you're risking 40
Right.
and you can win 2.5 times the buy-in.
Right.
I mean,
It would be almost like playing the $200 no limit game. Remember, you got to put everything into proportion. Like a $200 live action tournament where first prize is 500. So it's the same strategy.
I'd be
you know?
gambling up, or the $500 game where it was obviously $12.50.
$12.50, right? You would be gambling it up,
Oh,
right?
without a doubt.
Yeah. Ace, 10 Jack here on the flop. Looks like someone's got King Queen, and it's Mary over there in seat 8, and she's got the straight, and she bets $4. Clovine calls with the weak ace. Marisol calls with middle pair.
They're all in really bad shape.
Cindy mucks.
Wow, if you're Marie here, you got to be, doing flips. Rainbow board.
Oh, turns the king. She still is the only one with a queen here.
Yeah. But that might be an action killer, what do you think?
Well, she did bet on the flop, so she has
Right, no,
got
no.
some money in
Yeah.
there. And again, that's a perfect example of why, and I'm going to speak for you, Dave, in these restricted buy and no limit games, we like a bet with the nuts there on the flop.
Yeah,
She got called in a couple of spots.
And
by
had she not gotten, right,
by
had she checked it
inferior
around.
hands. Right. Had she
100%.
checked it around, the turn comes king, she bets, and everyone folds.
Right.
There you go.
Without a doubt. Without
Yeah.
a doubt. And there they are, the chips.
Marker chips. We had a new player coming into seat 6.
Is it, I know I was speaking to some girl who was first on the board, who was Katie. But it doesn't look like it's going to be Katie.
Now, I don't know if the powers that be are going to like me saying this, but because this is kind of a fun night, I'm going to need to throw some things in there for the hardcore fans, hardcore poker fans. And now the problem with a game like this, Dave, is that if you look at the structure, most of the money is going to go into the rig. This game cannot really be profitable. If you're here to have a good time and learn the game.
Don't say that, Art. Be quiet.
But it's almost similar to the 100 game, the same way,
Right.
right? Yeah, it's almost an impossible game to beat.
You know what you've got to do? If you're playing a game like this, or you're playing 1-2 or 2-4, 3-6, there's nothing wrong with those games. They're
Right.
great games. If you're either A, playing for fun,
Uh-huh.
or you're B, going to school. Pretty much what I'm saying is
Right.
poker school.
Right.
When I say school. These are your training grounds.
Right.
Because you don't want to obviously learn how to play poker playing 20, 40, 30, 60 or higher.
Right.
I learned playing 3-6. I probably beat the game maybe by like $1 or $2 an hour.
Right.
But hey, that was where I learned how to play. So, and the same thing here. If you want to play No Limit, why not learn here? You don't want to learn at a $500 game.
Right. We're heads up here. Ace Queen against Ace Jack.
Yeah.
And the flop comes 9-4-3, couple of clubs. Check there by Charity. Boy, she's definitely got a different strategy than her husband, doesn't she?
Chip burner?
Yeah.
Chip burner Turner?
Hey, look at
Yeah,
this
I asked her if
Charity's
she thought she was better than Robert. And she said, not even a question. Then I asked if they had ever played Heads Up. And she said, no. And she also said that in their 9 years, they've never even played strip poker.
Oh.
Yeah. And then I asked her for any guarantees. I go, any guarantees for 05 or 06, the rest of 05 or 06? And she said, I won't be pregnant.
No, there you go.
That was her only
Well,
guarantee.
I had mentioned the fact that I think they have either 3 or 4 kids. 3 or 4 kids.
Three
I'm not
kids?
Three
Wow.
kids. 3 kids. Yeah.
Wow.
We're the same boat.
Well, Charity is super. She's really a sweet little thing.
So the new player there in seat 6 name is Michelle. And Dave, Charity's got pocket kings over in seat 2, and she raises to 5. Now the pre-flop raising's been a little small here so far too tonight, Dave.
Well, it's a 1-2 blind. What would you want to raise it? I guess you could
7
6
or
or 7.
8.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I suppose. $5 certainly isn't going to stop anybody, I guess. I'd love to play in this game.
Cindy calls. Kim calls.
I'll put on my
stress you up.
I'll
Some
put on my
bacon there.
bombshell
Yeah.
my bombshell tank top and play in this game. I'll mix it up. I swear, I'll mix this up. What's $40 or $80? I'll play around with it.
So we've got 7-way action in the flop, and the flop comes 3, 8, 9.
Cindy's got top pair here.
And Charity's going to move all in here. Looks like for about $30.
Let's see if Cindy can get away from it.
So that's about the
Michelle's,
size of the pot. And Marisol's going to call with Queen 10 overcards and a gut shot.
and Michelle's open-ended here.
Sorry.
She's open-ended. What do you do with her?
Yeah.
Marisol might be thinking that any queen, any jack, or any 10 is good.
Well, if we look at the pot size was, it was
$30.
$30 pre-flop, a bet of 20 and a call, so it's $70 and it's 20 to call. You're getting almost 3.5 to 1 on your
Right.
money.
And now Cindy's in there with top pair. What does she do?
Well, a bet all in from a pre-flop raiser and a call in between. I don't think my 9-10. But she's going to make the call, Dave. Yep.
She was the only one who actually, when I asked her why are women better poker players than men, she was the only one that actually said that women aren't better.
Aren't better.
Are not better. She said men are better. She said women are better than everything else, though.
Oh, okay. So let's see the turn. The turn's a queen. Now Marisol's picked up top pair.
Still no good, though.
But Cindy and Marisol are building a side pot here, and Marisol has moved all in. And Cindy's hand has kind of gotten a little weaker. Well, she's got a gut shot to the jack now.
Yeah, and she shares the same 10 as Marisol, so she's in really bad shape.
Yeah. And she's going to call. I think Marisol only had about $10 left. So we got a pot here, Dave, over $100.
Wow.
About 20 on the side.
So Charity can
100
dodge those
in the main.
cards.
See the river. River's a deuce. Kings is going to take it, and Queen 10 is going to take it on the side.
Look at Kings.
There you go.
You got the side pot, main pot over here.
Yeah, at least it's not like they lost the pot. I mean, they're giving it to Charity.
She got the main pot.
Bump. I wanted to say that all night.
That was quick and clever, Dave.
You like that? It's not really quick. I mean, I spent 2 days trying to come up with something I could do with Charity's name. That was it.
Fight coming.
Five coming.
Thank you.
And just like that, Charity like quadruples up, huh?
But she still is way behind in the marker chip lead.
I have such a funny story about something I did. Oh, look, I way beat out your little 5 racks. We were playing, I ran an Indian poker game, and Johnny Chan was at the table, and he wanted $1,000. I thought he wanted it. We played with $1 chips. I thought he wanted $1,000.
I want to say hi to everybody that found us through the Windows Media Player.
I brought
We are live at the bike. I'm David Tuckman.
$1,000 chips.
Well, that's a close-up of Charity.
Unbelievable.
She's got a little
I'm here
southern,
with Bart
southern,
Hansen.
southern twang to her, too, doesn't she?
Yeah, she's from Bama.
Alabama, and then you got a girl from Louisiana to her left.
Yep. Love that Southern girl hospitality.
Oh, that's right. Okay. If you don't call, you don't have to. Oh, okay.
Pocket 8s for seat 4 is limped in. Cindy's limped in. Again, we're going to see a family pot.
7 players.
7-way action. Queen, queen, 4. No one has a queen. Marisol's hand's good right now.
Now, Cindy's got a 2-pair, but obviously not very good.
I'd heard that Shirley was going to be in this game, Dave, but I don't know
I
if
actually
that's
know
the
she was
case.
playing 6-12 Hold'em last I saw.
So maybe she was waiting to get in the game.
I know people. I can get her in.
Yeah.
I have connections.
2 players.
So a bet and a call.
I mean, I
Cindy
personally
bet.
would love to see Shirley in the game and get that girl Katie in the game.
Yep.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I said the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
6.
And a bet and a call again here. And Marisol is in the lead. See that river. 8s is going to be good here, Dave. Marisol now moves all in.
Wow.
So check, call, and now I move all in on the river. That kind of smells like a queen, even though she doesn't have one.
And Cindy's going to call her.
Wow. She's going to call with ace 4. Well, it's only maybe another $7 or so. So
All right. Ace 4, though. What can you beat?
yeah.
Only a pure bluff.
Another thing that I've noticed tonight is none of these women, when they have the losing hand, muck it. They all turn it over, head face up.
Right. Well, I know a lot of people. I know when my wife first started playing, I actually told her, I said, listen, I go, if you're not 100% sure,
Yeah.
I go, show your hands.
Yeah.
Because I actually watched her muck a hand once. And I
Yeah.
go, no, and it was already in the muck, and it was
Right,
too
right.
late. So I say, turn your hand over. You say in Omaha sometimes. You know, sometimes it's hard to read a hand, obviously, if you're a beginner. Turn
Yeah.
your hand over, let the dealer do it.
That small large, right?
How much is what?
$2.
1 and 2.
And this is crazy. I mean, these girls buying in for $40, they're playing for $100. Wow.
King, Jack. Ace, Queen here.
7 total.
Yeah, 7.
Daydreaming over there.
And here we go. We are heads up, Ace, Queen against Jack,
Yeah,
3.
for the pay cut that I
Michelle
got.
against Clovian.
I need to make up my pay cut.
Clovian's got a flush draw. She's gonna bet. She's gonna bet hard here. She's got a gut. She's got a Jack 3 of spades there, and that's not a good flop for Ace Queen, Dave. King 9-8. Not
No.
really what you want to see.
Those are a lot of cards in the playing zone, so to
Yeah.
speak.
It's like $20.
Exactly. 20.
Michelle mucks.
And Clovian takes it down.
And I don't know if Cindy's gone either in seat 7. We might have a new player coming in.
There's Michelle in seat. Oh, Michelle wants to buy in more. But she can't. It's a restricted game. She's itching to gamble. And obviously, when we talk about beating a game like this with the rake, obviously in 1 or 2 sessions, even over a month or 2, you can beat any game, no matter what the rake is. But in the long term, if you were to play this game for a year,
Yeah.
you'd be hard pressed to beat it. I mean, you'd literally have to probably win 90% of your sessions.
And seat 3's in the big blind, and she's got pocket queens, Clovian. And she's one of the ones that actually understands bet size here at
Yeah?
the table. So let's see how much she makes it. She raises $2 more. Kind of
And she's
laughed in the face of what I just said.
Yeah, it's kind of a big blind little sweetener, I guess.
Yeah. So here we go to the flop.
Well,
There's the ace.
that's what happens to red queens.
Ace 5-6. So you wonder if she had raised out enough, she could have gotten Charity off the hand.
Yeah, Charity actually checked it there.
Turned
Just
the
to see
king.
where she was at.
And Queens just keeps getting worse and worse.
It should be pretty easy for her to get away from it, at least.
Charity's going to bet $40 into about a $15 pot, Dave.
Well, wow.
And Marisol makes the call with King Jack. Wow. And the river is
Bam.
8. Charity's going to take it down there with Ace 4.
Hey, I got to tell you, I take it back. The $200 game is not the best game. This is the best game. This game is great. All you got to do is check your ace one time and then move all in and get called. All the power to you, Charity. Take it down.
I was talking with some of my friends that actually host a home game where they take a rake in the Boston area, and I don't know if I had told you this on air before, but it's it's almost the equivalent of a $100 game,
Right.
With about a $5 rake, a big rake.
Wow, $100
And,
for $5. But the guys in Boston, they're starving for poker action.
Right. But basically, 3 hours into the game, you look around, and the house has at least 50% of the money that everyone started with. You know, it's impossible to beat that rake.
Yeah, well, that's,
You know,
well, you think about it. If 9 players buy in for $100, there's $900 on the table.
right,
If you play only 30 hands an hour, which is obviously very conservative,
right,
that's $150 coming up the table an hour.
yeah,
So you're talking about almost, 16, 17% of the money on the table gone every hour.
right.
But the guys in Boston and stuff, obviously in Los Angeles, there are a lot of poker halls. I mean, the one to play at is the Bike, but there are a lot of them. So, but in Boston, people are starving for poker action. I mean, those guys will probably pay $7 over in our hands.
Deuce 3-6 here on the flop. Marisol's got pocket 5. She has the second best hand because Marla in seat 5, she's got 6-10 of clubs.
Did you check? I checked.
And she's going to bet. A lot of these ladies will bet right out with top pair. And Marisol is going to check raise. It looks like all in. Oh, no, she's just going to make the call. The turn is a 7. And she's drawing really slim here, Dave.
Yeah, she's going to need a 4 or a 5, huh?
I know, you're right. She's just checking my chips.
And she makes the call.
She's got a 5-for-5 record.
And if
Give her a 4.
if she goes bust, Dave, it's a jack on the river. If she goes bust, she's going to have to forfeit those chips. So hopefully, she's in a
I'll
chip
give her
lead.
$40. Where is she? Come back.
Small pocket here. They're going to kill you.
Yeah, she's probably in for 4 buy-ins already?
Yeah.
Well, no wonder she has so many chips. She's in every pot. She's got to. I mean, I'm all for playing a lot of hands in this kind of game, but you got to learn to lay down a hand.
Excuse me,
Donna.
Donna. They can buy a 20.
You can buy a short buy, yes. Already you have to do a full buy. Oh.
40.
No, wait, why don't you use my sunglasses?
You can use this.
Oh, here we go.
Just go like,
You be like. Small black.
And actually, the rake exactly for this game, Dave, because I know that there's some questions coming up, is $2.50 plus 50 cents for the jackpot.
Right.
So
$3 rake.
It's a $3 rake, which still is gigantic for the size that they're playing.
Right. But I mean, in the same sense, I mean, no casino in the world is gonna charge less. It's not like a casino's overhead is any less for this game.
No.
than it would be for a
I'm just
big-
saying
Right.
it's gigantic in the size of the game because when we play 20-40 stud high low, the rake is $3.
Right.
So it's and that game would be what, 20 to
Right.
50 times as big as this game.
Right. Well, generally, people playing this game aren't really interested in what the
Right.
rake is. It's more of just here to have a good time,
Right.
and gamble it up a little bit. And Cindy is back in the game.
She got that money. went back somewhere and got the money from somewhere.
Well, being a poker blue babe has its advantages.
Yes. Turn is a 9. Everyone checks, and the river is a jack.
I think 7s are still good, huh?
Yeah, Mary there in seat 8.
Everybody check, right?
Turn the 7's over. They're good.
Okay, so
Mary's actually played, and even Mel commented that she pretty much played the most solid form of poker. There was one hand where it was questionable whether she misread her hand or not. But besides that, she's played it pretty straight up.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can
Well,
see she's
she's
got
got-
20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 150 probably now in front
I
of
mean,
her.
some people would think, oh, she's only up $110. But wow, she's almost won 3 buy-ins already.
Yeah, it'd be like being at 600. Well, actually, it would be like being at
Almost $800.
800 in the 200 game.
Right,
That's a lot.
exactly. It's a nice win. My wife used to, when she was playing 3-6 and I was playing like 15-30 or 30-60, we'd go home and she'd be like, I won $34. And I'd say, oh, I won, 340.
Yep.
And she'd go, you won so much more than me. I go, no, you won 34 chips. I won 34 chips. I just played bigger than you.
Did you see what she did? Yeah, you did.
But when you're at the table, it's really just chips.
Now, Mary has raised here with Ace Queen. She's made it $6 to go. And Laura's got Ace Pocket 10s, and she calls. And Clovine over there's got Ace Queen. She makes the call. We actually haven't seen a lot of re-raising. I don't think we've seen a re-raise one
Really?
time
Okay.
tonight pre-flop.
Well, 10's in good shape here, huh?
Deuce, 9, 5. Now, this is the type of hand with 10s I would think you definitely would want to raise here, Dave. With it's a $4 bet.
And look at that, the stop bet doesn't work.
And she makes it $10 to go. Wow, and Mary's going to call. She's going to peel there. She's got a backdoor spade draw as well. Turns a 7.
There are the spades.
Mary checks.
Nice bet. Nice bet, Laura.
Laura's going to bet all in. And with that draw, Mary, if she figures her ace or queen or spade is good,
Yeah.
she's going to make the call.
She's got a lot of outs here.
Yeah. She's got 15 outs. And the river is an 8, and she does not get there.
Obviously, she doesn't know the other player had ace-queen as well,
Right.
which kills her outs, but didn't get there. And 10's hold up.
That's what I throw away, ace 8. I mean, ace queen. I throw away ace queen. Was that suited? Yes. Wrong suit.
So we are live at the bike, and we are watching Women's Night. $40 buy-in restricted, no limit hold'em game. Blinds are 1 and 2. I'm David Tuckman, and I'm here with Bart Hansen.
And we're going to look at another live action chip count. Now remember, Marisol is down about $150. But she
hey.
has the chip lead with 10 action chips. Mary in seat 8's got about 8, and she is the overall
But-
cash winner.
Well, at this point, Marisol's going to have to win first place just to break even.
Yeah. Again, I've heard from different sources that people are feeding the women the information at the table when they sit down. The cash doesn't really matter. You want to really go for these chips on the side. Here we go to the flop. Jack 6, 10. Couple of clubs.
Yeah, Cloving's got a open-ended straight draw here.
10.
And she's going to bet it. Semi-bluff. Marisol has top pair.
She bets her draws.
Call.
And I believe we're heads up here.
Yes, we are.
Open-ended versus straight draw.
Turns 4 clubs.
That gives Cloving less outs here because Marisol's got the 3 of clubs.
Check, check. River's deuce. Jack is good.
Yeah, 9 high is not going to do it. Pair of jacks, and Marisol wins another pot.
Yep.
Looking for spades.
Take it down.
You get that? Really? Yeah, thank you.
Russ McGinley on 2+2 says, the play on this table is pretty retarded. If they were going to play this bad, they should change it to strip poker. Well,
Really?
what can you say? What can you say to that? Typical man, I guess.
Yeah, I suppose so. I suppose so. Although I've met Russ, he's hardly typical.
But then again, we've always been pushing for strip poker here on Live at the Bike.
I'm definitely pushing for strip poker. But you were talking about the Playmates and the Bombshells. I'd like to see them play strip poker.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with these ladies at all, but hey.
And we've got 5-way action
Yeah.
to the flop. King 4 Trey.
Trey. Marie's got a bottom pair here, and she's in the lead.
But Cindy's going to bet with a wheel draw, Dave.
She actually said she likes to play stud, and her favorite starting hand in stud, just stud high, is ace deuce 3 or ace deuce 4, because she
In
likes to go
stud
for
high.
she likes to go for wheels.
Ah. Maybe
So here you go.
Oh, look at this. To the 5 pairs up here on the turn, and she wants to continue to bet here.
She loves straights, she said, and
Michelle
likes to go
in
for 'em.
seat 6 has made a straight, Dave.
Wow.
And she's checked it. And the button's going to bet. A little bit dangerous sometimes to check in the cutoff when you have a made straight. You're not necessarily going to get the button to bet there.
And in this case, she's got the nuts, and nobody can beat her.
And she's check raised all in here. And she's got a big smile on her face. Looks like she's having some fried zucchini there in the background. Yeah. Zucchini sticks.
Michelle's kind of cute, don't you think?
Yeah.
I know you have a thing for Asian women, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
But look at this. Cindy makes the call. And I know you don't, right, Dave? Not
yeah.
especially.
It's not. Yeah, not especially. Exactly. Not especially. What? Perfect shot there by Isaac as he gets me going.
And Mary makes the call here too with bottom pair, Dave. Michelle check raised all in. Cindy called, Mary called, and Marisol has got an open-ended straight draw.
And they're all drawing dead. She check raises all in and gets 3 callers, and they're all calling. They're all going completely dead.
And she's going to win a huge pot here, drawing totally dead. That's like a $150 pot. She check raised to $25. She got 3 calls. There was already 75 in the pot.
What is Marie doing though?
And the river is a deuce. So Cindy makes the bottom end of a wheel. Well, she makes a wheel.
Right.
And now she's going to try to bet here on the side. And she thinks that she's going to win.
Well, she made her wheel. Obviously, it's not good, but
There's going to be money on the side here. She's betting all in.
well, I can't believe. I mean, Marisol and Marisol's not going to call, is she?
No, I don't think she did. And now Cindy just realizes that. There you go.
I mean, in defense of Cindy, I mean, she at least was the first caller of the all.
Yeah.
Actually, I can't really defend any of them. What am I trying to do? My best friend out of D.C. actually has always loved Asian women. He actually dated a Korean girl in high school. Then he dated a Chinese girl in college. And now he's married now to a Korean girl.
And you were telling me this because
We were just talking about...
You're reassuring the fact that it's okay for me to like.
Yeah, exactly. I just wanted to make sure. I know you were doubting yourself.
Oh, I see.
and feeling a little bit self-conscious. And I want to make sure that you know it's okay. It's okay to be who you are.
Because
Bart.
your best friend did it.
Exactly.
It's okay.
It's okay to be who you are. If I have to say I have a thing for anything, it's probably Southern women. That's Southern hospitality.
So someone like Charity.
No, actually more like clothing.
Creole
Exactly.
thing going on.
Exactly.
Cook me some, get like that food, that spicy food.
I love the spicy
Yeah.
Cajun, like Cajun cat, like deep fried Cajun catfish or something like that. Oh, so good. Laura here, she's got a big ham.
Yeah, she's going to bet here with the open-ended straight draw with overcards. An ace-9 makes the call, Marisol.
Yeah, and the interesting thing, if an ace or a 9 comes, it
Yeah.
makes Laura's hand.
And now Laura's hand gets better. She picks up a queen.
Yeah. And now Marisol's going to need a king, and nothing else. And she's calling for the king.
Yep, she's almost all in here again. And the river is a jack. And she's going to bet here again.
It's really interesting to get a different kind of show going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Obviously, we always see, we try to give different product every night. In this case, you really see, what players are playing.
And
at this level.
I think the ace-9 call there?
She called.
Wow, with ace-high. And she's going to go broke again, Dave. It's about the 6th time tonight. And again, I mean, she's up in the chip lead, but she's going to have to start playing a little conservative with her chips if she's going to want to last.
Well, unless
You know?
she's got a couple $1,000s in her pocket.
Yeah. I don't know if I told you this off the air, but on Wednesday night, you know who the big loser, and I'm talking big loser of Wednesday night was?
Refresh me on what the game was exactly.
Wednesday night was $5,100, $5,000 max buy-in. No
Oh,
limit.
that restricted no limit game.
2 lost $25,000 in the game.
2?
Yeah, Joe's
2?
2. Asian 2.
What was she doing in the game?
Well, Action Joe was playing in the game, and they know each other well, so she decided to take
Action
it.
Joe.
Yep.
Joe,
Joe.
her boyfriend,
Yeah.
Joe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So they decided to play together.
Well, I mean, they played at the same table.
Was
yeah.
she just getting bad beats? Or was
She had a couple of she got sucked out a few times. She had, top pair ace king versus sets. Where in that restricted buy and no limit game, you're so short chip that all the money's going to go in.
Yeah.
At the end, she had ace king. She check raised all in. The guy had king jack and he'd flop top 2 pair. Stuff like that. It was really bad. But $25K, just like
25K. And how did Joe do?
He was more hovering around about it. He didn't really.
They
lose
might
that
have. They
much.
might have tried to. They might have tried to take a shot in that game, thinking that these guys don't have that much experience in
With
a
them.
restricted no
Right,
limit hold'em
right,
game,
right.
which they probably don't.
No, that's what I was saying all night. That I mean, and I actually had asked Ali at the end of the night. If no one really at that table has experience with
that's
restricted
the
buy
point.
and no limit
Right.
games. I mean, if you take a solid $200 player in there and give him money, I would like him more than any of those players.
Yeah, there are
in
a
that
few
game.
players that I know that are really good at restricted buy-in games.
Yeah.
That would probably be able to eat that game alive.
Yeah.
The problem is they've got to be comfortable gambling $5,000, $10,000.
Right.
Wow, $25,000 for 2.
Yeah.
Wow. Interestingly enough, I
Six-way
didn't see her in the
action.
casino today.
Yeah. Limped around.
Surprise, surprise.
Ace 8 jack here. Maytay's going to bet $5 here with ace queen.
Yeah, take that, a little Maytay.
And Michelle's in kicker trouble. She's going to make the call with ace 4.
I love her name. You can't say it without smiling. It's like Maytay. Give me a little Maytay.
Turn comes 10.
And Michelle is drawing dead. Right? Oh no, I'm sorry. I thought it was ace jack. I thought she had 2 pair already.
Well, she could spike a 4 here.
No, right. I thought for some reason I thought it was ace jack. I thought she had 2 pair already.
She makes the call. So the river's is a queen. It
There.
brings a one-liner to a straight. 1 card straight, excuse me. And look at that. Maytay's going to continue to bet because she's made aces up here on the river.
Yeah,
But it's tough for somebody with a weak ace to call now, Dave.
definitely.
Any 2 pair beats you. Any
Hey,
king
do
beats
you think maybe that's a stop bet in the river? Kind of a slow down, like I don't want to call a big bluff because I don't have a king? No.
I don't really know what to say.
Okay.
I guess you could interpret it that
Wow.
way. Why? Michelle makes the call.
Michelle calls.
Yeah, ace queen is going to take that one down.
I'm kind of surprised. I mean, I've seen Michelle around the casino a lot, and I thought she was better than that. Ace 4 is obviously not good.
Are you giving some jealous to my girlfriend there, Dave?
I'm sorry. I actually saw her hanging out when we actually had the big game on a little while ago.
Yeah.
And Tony was in it. We were doing commentary, and Tony was in it, and she was sitting behind Tony.
Ah.
And supposedly they're just friends. But hey.
And to give you guys a little bit of play-by-play, when Dave said "just friends," he did that little thing with the elementary school teachers with the quote-unquote.
Quote-unquote, just friends.
I don't know if Isaac can get me. Just friends.
Just friends. There you go. I like that. Okay, girls, squeeze in. And there's Katie there. She looks like she's kind of upset about something.
Well, is Cindy going to try to get more chips from that mystery source?
Well, she's got money there. She's just not sitting there.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. And a $4 raise over there in seat 9 with King 7 off suit.
And I hear Donna's giving pre-warnings to people. What exactly is a pre-warning? And then after that, do you get a? So after the pre-warning, do you get a warning? So there's a pre-warning, Bart. Then we get a post-warning, and then just a regular warning.
That's fine.
Look at those raggy hands out there, huh?
Yeah, well, Laura raised it pre-flop, and she picked up top pair here.
Yeah.
And I think that Cloven bet in with second pair, and King 7 raised. Pretty straightforward. Now Cloven's going to call. And the turn is a 5. Now, if Cloven had been paying attention to Laura, this is the first time Laura's ever really raised anyone on the flop. So you got to put her on a king, I would think.
Yeah.
10-3.
Yeah, the only other time she raised when she has an overpair, when she had the 10s.
Yeah.
So there's not much bluffing going on.
And look at that, the 10 on the rabbit cam on the river, Dave.
Ooh. Well, for our viewers at home,
It's quite the hairdo there in seat 9.
yeah, she's actually a dealer here.
No, she works in the cage, I think. Oh, maybe she works. Oh.
That makes you think a little.
So she is a dealer. She works over.
Yeah,
at
Caribbean
Blackjack's.
stud, I think she was saying. Caribbean poker or something like that. Now, for our viewers at home, Bart, I was just curious, what would you say you can learn from a game like this? I mean, let's say, because obviously some of our viewers play 50 cents, a dollar, $2, $3, whatever it is. Small stakes, obviously. They're learning how to play poker. What would you say you can get out of this game?
Well, I'm going to get back to you at the end of this hand. You learned something because Marisol had pocket aces in the big blind. She chose to check it in an 8-way pot. I tell you not to do that.
That's because she's flopped. She knew she was going to flop a set.
8-7-3 here, and she's going to bet. Now the funny thing is that a couple of weeks ago we saw this hand kind of play out the same way, Dave, in the $1,000 game where Barry Woods had checked aces in the big blind, not 8 ways but 4 ways, flopped top set, but did not bet. He checked it and he got taken for a gigantic pot against Amos, who made it straight on the turn.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, he did.
But again, that's kind of making the minimum. I mean, you've not raised pre-flop with aces. You hit your set. Now you bet and no one calls you.
Right. Yeah, at least she didn't compound it by checking blind like Barry did.
Well, I think what you can learn from this game, I mean, obviously, I think that you jump into a game like this so that you can get comfortable with, the structure and the flow of the game. How do you post your blinds?
But more than playing the game, for people at home, what can you get out of watching this game?
Well, I think that, it can teach you, some of the mistakes that people make at this lower limit, which tends to be a lot of calling as opposed to raising or folding, coming in with inferior hands. I think one of the biggest lessons tonight is to watch the pot size, even when you don't have many chips in front of you. You got to be able to bet an amount that's almost equal to the size of the pot, Dave. I mean, if you're a novice, I'd say bet the pot. Yeah. Make like it's pot limit. And we've got 3-way action.
A couple
here.
of draws here, plus an open-ended straight draw and a flush draw, and then Laura's just sitting there with a king draw.
Marisol's going to bet here with the jack, and her hand is good right now. She bets. Marla calls. Marla's got a huge draw now. And the river is a 3. Marisol, she's going to bet $5. Now, here's a great example, Dave. Well, Marisol's going to bet $5 here on the river. And Laura doesn't have anything over here.
No.
And she's not going to call. But again, these ladies really haven't been paying attention to pot size at all. It's a $25 pot, and you bet $3. I think we saw one time when the pot was $21, and it was a $2 bet into an 8-way pot with top pair.
Right. So pretty much if you have any draw whatsoever, you might as well call.
Or anything. You know, because you're not really scared that someone's going to raise behind you. It's a pretty passive table. So,
Right.
You know.
One thing I could definitely see from this game is, obviously Marisol is obviously taking the worst of it in terms of losing money. She's probably in for about $200 tonight. But she's won the most pots. And one thing that we've seen time and time again is you don't necessarily need to win a lot of hands to win in No Limit Hold'em.
Charity is the big winner over there in seat 2, and she has the least amount of chips.
Yeah, she's won 2 hands the whole
Right.
night. And that's what No Limit Hold'em is really about. Patience, discipline, sitting there, and especially in a cash game. Picking your spots.
Yep.
Because you really don't need to win that many hands to win a lot of money.
Now you're ready to call. Yes, 3 more, please.
Now, seat 8 is going to make it, looks like $3 more to go out of the blind with pocket 5s.
Yeah, I did have to double check. Oh, okay. 3 more. All right. Sorry. But Marie's going to be sorry. I hope not.
Yeah, she is in the blind. I think 6 and 7 are out right now.
Okay.
So, here we go with the flop. Deuce 3, 8. Marla's got top pair over there in seat 5.
I'm looking for.
And she bets it, Dave.
Straight out.
$5 bet. Call by Mary.
Well, that's seemingly where you're going to make your money here. Playing your hands pretty much straightforward. And not calling with inferior hands.
Again, though, that pot was $25, and she bet $5 into the pot from up front. And
See, I mean, in that case, I don't terribly mind that because she doesn't have much of a kicker. Now she's got to put up. Yeah,
and she's bet 5 into a $45 pot now.
Now that
with
she has 2
pair.
pair, you definitely want to kick it up a notch. But she gets calls by a couple of hands that are really in bad shape.
And the river's a queen, and 6-8 is going to be good here. And she checks it on the end.
Wow.
Yeah, $5 into a $45 pot in the turn is just not going to cut it, Dave.
And I got to tell you one thing about value betting on this and against this table here, where I've seen a couple of ladies call down with ace high and so forth, or bottom pair even. Bet. You might as well just keep betting your hands.
I can't even raise it. You could have. Right? I could have raised you. No, I'm not going to. No. I could have. Okay. Thank you.
Of course, you can follow a live thread started on 2plus2 by going to 2plus2.com. Click on forums, World Poker Tour, and other televised tournaments. The Live at the Bike official thread for 9:15. You can also email us at live@thebike.com.
Yeah, please email us with any questions or comments or advice or pretty much anything.
Yeah.
I'm actually barbecuing this Saturday. If you have any good recipes, feel free to email them to me. We'll check them out. You're coming over, right, Bart? Big party Saturday night?
Yes, I'm going to whip your butt in Madden football. Well, Dave, we got an email here from Shadow.
Shadow?
A couple of minutes ago, and he says that he's from the Houston area. He really likes the show. He'd like to see more restricted buy-in games that are similar to the ones that he plays in, which are, 3 to 5 blind, 200 or 300 buy-in. And we do, and we're going to incorporate our 300 to 500 game in the show with our 5-day, lineup and our 200 game. Because I think those are the games that most of the people play that watch the show.
I mean, it's really entertaining to watch the Whale show, but obviously for most of our viewers and for most of the public in the world, they can't really relate to losing $25,000 in one night.
Yeah. Ace 4-8 here, couple of hearts. Michelle's got a heart draw.
She's got the nut draw.
Yeah.
Look at that.
And
she's gonna bet
it. Looks like seat 5 bet with Queen 8, and Michelle called with the heart draw. And everyone called. Juice 4 called. Marisol called.
And Marie's in there too, huh?
Yeah, Marisol's got a problem with calling too many hands, Dave.
Yeah.
The turn is a queen.
Although I actually like her call better than Marie's call.
And look at this. And now Michelle has bet from up front when the black queen comes.
Yeah.
She's got a straight draw, a heart draw.
But Marla's got 2 pair now.
Are you going to trip on me?
Yeah, Marla's got 2 pair. And she's in position.
Wow.
That's good. Look at that.
I'm laying down.
She's going to lay down the queen 8, Dave? Wow.
And you hear what she said? Michelle actually said, I have something. And she goes, well, obviously you have something. And she laid down 2 pair.
Wow.
Wow.
Just like I taught her.
And the one thing that was interesting there, the hand before actually, right before that, Marie had called with pocket 9s. And I would have rather seen either raise or fold.
Well, the funny thing is, too, is if we can wave this guy, come into the picture. Come on, Turner. Let's go. So this is the guy. God.
There we go. This
is the guy that is Charity's husband, Robert Chipburner Turner.
Right. When you say Charity's, Robert's better half is out there. Well, this is Charity's. Well, there you go.
Well, anyways, Robert's saying that he taught her everything she knows, but Robert, we've only seen her play like 1 or 2 hands. And I know that when you come into a cash game with David and I, we just really want to butter it up. I mean, we're like, great, he's coming into a cash game because Robert's a very aggressive tournament player. But Charity's been playing it pretty tight all night long, and she's won 2 hands, and she's a big chip leader. But we know that her style, she obviously didn't learn it from you. She got some other spot because you guys seem to have clashing styles. And Robert is telling us that she has an appreciation for money.
Right.
She
actually told me that she thinks she's better than you.
Yeah. And Robert says she really believes that, huh?
Well, there you go.
Thanks, Robert.
Robert Chipburner Turner. If you don't know who he is, you should Google him because he's a poker tournament star from the mid-'80s.
He's probably won more tournaments. They said that the figure is that he could have won more tournaments than anyone. Or he's right up there. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Right up there.
Literally, like you said, the Daniel Negreanu of the mid-'80s. Unfortunately for him, the money wasn't being thrown around like it is today.
Now look at this. Marie is going to go all in here with ace-10. In Charity, she had pocket 10. She has an overpair. And Marie re-raised all in. Charity's got an overpair. Marie's got the nut flush
She
draw
seems
with
pretty
overcards.
relaxed. Only one overcard, actually.
And I think she just realizes that she's faced up against an all-in. It's only $6 more.
She's not going to lay it down?
She's got an overpair. So she's in pretty good shape because she's got one of the 10s. Oh, the club comes on the turn. That's going to do it. Marie's going to win.
Wow.
And the river's a 10.
Oh, that just rubs it in. Oh, my. Oh, wow. The excitement here at the bike never ends.
Yep.
And look at that. Charity was doing great until Robert came in the booth. What happened?
Yeah. The husband jinx. But anyways, like you said, if you do a Hendon Mob search on Robert Turner, you'll see that he has got a very, very impressive little tournament stat sheet.
Extremely impressive.
Yeah.
And he's actually had a great run. He finished top 100 in the World Series of Poker main event this year.
Right.
And also did really good at the LA Poker Championship, the World Poker Tour event held over at the
LA Poker Classic.
Yeah, LA Poker Classic held over at the Commerce Casino.
Actually, didn't you go out at the bubble over there? Oh, you did finish the money. Okay.
Yeah.
So we just saw another action chip count there. Marisol's still in the lead with 11 chips. And Charity just lost that pot there.
Yeah, it's a tough beat there. I mean, tough hand to get away with them with ace-10 of clubs. You figure you have overcards and the club draw.
Yep.
And even if somebody has 10s, jacks, queens, or kings, you've still got 3 aces plus the club. So.
Well, it's funny because we're giving Turner a hard time, Chipburner and Turner, but we've seen it happen a lot where aggressive tournament players come and playing cash games, and they just kind of fizzle out because you can just wait. There's no escalating blind structure. You wait to pick them off.
Yeah, I've only had the pleasure of playing with Robert a couple of times, and I'll be honest with you, one thing about his style, which is really great, is he's not sitting there, oh my God, Marla.
Oh, Marla's got us flopped the full house here. And 2 people, ace-king and ace-queen.
The case ace. And Marla's in good shape.
Laura bet. Seat 1, Mayte called. Clothing called with King 10, and Marla has just smooth called here with Ace 7.
And there is an Ace King in there as well. Oh, wow.
Now the turn is an 8. Cloven's picked up a flush draw now. Laura's going to continue to lead with Ace King.
Now, Marla's got to realize that somebody else probably has an ace.
Yeah,
She's got to move this. Come on.
You could really raise here. I mean, there's a lot of draws out there. Someone could have a 7 as well, Dave.
Oh, this is one of those. Bet. Oh, there she is.
Yeah, she's going to raise it up to 20. I like the raise.
Push it up there.
Again, I'm of the feeling that I would actually like to have seen her raise on the flop
yeah,
as well with 4 or 5 people.
And Maria's in there with the spade draw.
Maria's in
she's
the
drawing
spade
dead.
draw.
They're all drawing dead.
Yep. The only one that has a chance to chop would be the 2 aces there.
Well, there's no aces left.
Queen and ace. Oh, you're right. Yeah. Everyone's drawing dead.
Look at this.
Oh, excuse me. The case 7 could come and they would all chop it up, right?
No, she'd have quad 7s. Marla would have quad 7s.
I'm trying to make something out of
it.
it.
Yeah, I know you're trying to make something. There's nothing you can do.
There's
Marla's
nothing.
won this hand.
Yeah. And this is a huge hand. We're talking about a $190 pot here. Biggest of the night. $20 times 5 here on the turn. And the river is a 3. Let's see if she can extract money from the ace-queen and the ace-king.
Yeah, had a spade or a heart come.
$3 here. Cloven's going to bet $3. And Marla's going to move all in here on the river. And she's going to bet, it looks like $120, Dave.
Wow.
So the pot now, oh, look at this. Ace-king's going to call. We're talking about a $400 pot here. $400 pot in the 40 no-limit game.
Now, did she bet all in or just bet 40?
She moved all in, and Ace-king called over in seat 9. She moved all in for $120.
Yeah, now, Marie got it. Did Mayte get away from this? She
Well,
got
Mayte, I think, is still deciding over there in seat 1.
Oh, well.
No, okay. She mucked it.
She did get away from it.
Wow. That's like a $400 pot right there.
I like Clothing's try there. She threw $3 in on the river on her missed flush. Like everybody's going to fold a $300 pot.
Yeah, on the turn, there was no way that she was going to lose that hand.
Wow, big pan, big hand. Now back to chip burner turn. I was going to say one thing about his style is he's real aggressive. He likes to mix it up. He doesn't. He's one of those guys who he's not one of those guys at the end of the tournament. If he gets knocked out, it's not because I didn't get my hands today. I didn't get any hands to play. Because he's going to make his hands playable no matter what. Now, obviously, by mixing it up, he usually either burns out pretty quick or he gets a lot of chips. And if he gets a lot of chips, he can be dangerous.
So what a pot there as seat 5 moved all in for $120 and got a call out of seat 1, and that made it over a $400 pot. Wow.
Yeah, this is, we've now got some good money on the table. Between Marisol bringing in about $200 to this table.
Yeah.
This game is playing bigger than some $200 games play.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like,
some $100 games.
Okay.
Yeah.
I literally need a new pair of shoes. I lost my shoes in the hurricane. I did. I got to Arizona barefoot.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
And we got an email again here from Dr. Duke. Reading this just to prove that we got email access. He said, I'd love to see Shirley playing and absolutely cutting this table up. Well,
it would be great watching her work over these ladies.
Yeah. I guess he's talking about poker.
Yeah, oh no, I'm clearly poker.
I don't know where Shirley is.
I told you, I saw her playing 6-12 home.
Oh. Laura's going to bring this one in for $5.
Boy, you guys just whose idea was that? Hers?
Ace Jack. Did she rebuy? Or did she have seat 5 covered that hand? It looks like she's got some chips left. Oh, she's getting more chips there, Dave. So
getting more chips? Okay, yeah. Cool.
Jack, 6-3. Pretty good flop there for Laura with the Ace Jack. Couple of clubs on board.
Not a club in sight, though. Just a couple of naked clubs, but nothing really there. Nobody's got a draw.
Looks like she rebought for $40.
And that's a tough hand, but if you'd been paying attention and you watched Marla play, you see how tight she is and how confident she was moving all those chips in. You can say at least, I don't think you put her on Ace-7, but you definitely put her on 1-7.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's tough.
Yeah.
Tough spot for Ace King to call there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Laura's bet here, and Marisol's called questionably with Queen 10, Dave. Turn is a 3. She's got one over that's good. And Laura again bets $5 into about an $18 pot. And Queen 10
And Marisol
calls.
still calls.
Yeah. And the river's a deuce. And did it just get checked down here? No, she's going to bet. It's like limit hold'em, Dave.
Yeah, pretty much.
Marisol mucks.
Now it's interesting, usually women get the reputation of being easy to push over. You can bet them out of a pot, you can raise them out of a pot, and it seems like the majority of these players are actually not easy to push over. You can't bluff any of them because they call and call and call and call.
Let's take a look at Seat 5's chips there. She's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 12, almost 15 stacks of $20. So she's got about $280. That's, again, that would be like winning upwards of $1,400 in the $200 game.
Oh, yeah. That's
7 times the
That's
buy-in.
a big, big day.
Yeah. Wow.
That's a big day. Marla is the only player now saying that you can't push these girls around because they seem to call with anything. Marla is the only one that actually lays down. And she made that lay down when she made 2 pair.
3-way action here. Looks like it was raised pre-flop a little bit. Ace 3 king on the flop. Laura's going to bet here with Queen 7. Wow. Turn is a 3. She's picked up a flush draw now. I think actually Marlo bet the flop and got called by Laura.
There you go.
And Laura's another one that's got a little trouble laying down hands there, Dave. She probably shouldn't call the flop with Queen 7.
Well, not. I think she raised.
Wow. Yeah, bet and a raise. Look at that. She's got a flush draw representing the 3. And, Marla doesn't have an ace or a king here.
Well, Marla has a king.
I mean, she doesn't have an ace, excuse me.
Right.
Ace or a 3.
Yeah, Marla's the one player at this table that you can make this move against.
What she's going to call.
But she calls anyway.
But I really like that move. There's something you can learn.
No, I like that move too.
As opposed to calling on the turn, why not raise it? And the
Definitely.
river is an ace.
Hey, well, let's see if she can bet a big bet here. She bets like 30.
No, she's just going to give it up.
She gives it up.
And Laura actually plays the board there at the end. Aces and 3s for Queen.
Yeah, I want to give Laura credit though. That was, much better than checking and calling with a draw. I'm really surprised. I thought Marla would lay that down, and Marla laid down 2 pair before.
Right.
Wow.
Looks like Jive Dadson has entered the thread, Dave.
Yes.
And he.
My night is complete.
I guess he's missed the. There's been several stop bets tonight.
Yeah.
From the females from up front.
Fabulous. Fabulous. I can't wait. Saturday night, all I'm going to be doing is stop bets all night.
Oh, and to finish Shadow's email there, I think he said that he thought that I had written a book on restricted buy no limit. It's actually not me.
You should.
I should, though.
You should. Definitely.
You can look up Russ Fox's Mastering No Limit Hold'em.
But we cannot. I refuse to endorse Russ Fox's book.
We haven't endorsed it. I'm just mentioning
I won't endorse it. I refuse to. I've seen Russ play. I'm not impressed with his play. And he won't give me a book. Sorry. And thanks for playing. No, and I don't say that out of being rude, but I've watched him play. I'm not overly impressed with his style of play. And
you think he plays too tight?
I do. I think he's definitely too tight.
$6 bet here by Marie with the ace deuce.
But I think sometimes it's tight and silly. Like he kind of commits himself on certain hands. I don't know.
Well, I got to agree with you there.
Yeah, I'm just not. Like his ace king play is just seems like it's a little bit. I don't know, almost overplaying the hand. Now, if I had read the book and I think the book's great, I'll do it. But I haven't read the book, so.
And you won't buy it, of course.
No, I'm not going to buy the book. I think he should give me a book. I'll give it back to him. I don't care. I'm sorry. I got a free book from Barry Greenstein. I got a free book from Ron Rose. Who is Russ Fox? Don't take it personal, but come on. You should write a book, though, Bart. You're onto something here. Good idea, Shadow.
Pocket tens over there for Charity Turner.
Charity Raymer, I like that.
Make it 10.
Does Robert know about her relationship with Greg?
She's going to make it $10 to go from the button with pocket tens. And you can tell the difference in skill level. I mean, she's raised to $10 with tens, where other people are coming in with $4 raises pre-flop.
And interesting here, you know, she played poker before she knew Robert. She's somehow related to Fats, Minnesota Fats.
A great billiards player.
Exactly. And that's where she met Robert, was at some billiards hall or something like that.
Ace-4 against pocket tens. Ace-4 has a straight draw. But Charity's going to bet here hard. Looks like $20.
Nice bet there.
And again, you know, Lori hasn't faced this type of pressure. Charity's only been in a few hands, but she knows how to correctly play the hand, Dave.
Right.
I mean, other people have been betting $4.
$4.
You know?
Charity takes it down.
Yeah, there you go.
Thank you.
And in Charity's defense, I mean, the only hand she really lost, she did get her money in with the best of it.
Right.
But you don't do it. You know you don't do it. So you're not used to it.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited, Bart. The soup tonight is tomato bisque.
You like that soup?
I do. It's my favorite soup they have here.
I actually like the cipino that they serve here. It's a red fish stew.
Yeah, the Friday night chipino.
Yeah.
Every Friday night.
Scallops, shrimp, salmon,
What'd you say?
halibut.
Shrimp, halibut. What was the other one?
Scallops.
Scallops.
Yeah.
Okay, I haven't heard that pronunciation of.
Really? Well,
Yeah.
how do you maybe I'm East Coasting myself.
I guess I know. I've already scallops.
Scallops? Really?
Yeah. Scallops. I like that. Okay.
Yeah, probably.
I'm gonna
probably,
use that.
Probably doing my Northeast thing there,
Oh.
Boston area. Well, here we go. The pot was raised. I think it was by Charity with Ace Queen, and she's flopped the best hand. 8-10 Queen, couple of clubs. Let's see if she fires here with top pair. And again, she bets about the size of the pot,
Right.
Dave, which we have not
She puts
seen.
pressure on people. She
Yeah.
puts pressure on Marie, who has second pair.
Right.
You know,
Clovine is called.
anybody that have a draw here. Michelle, who has second pair with
Right.
some sort of draw here.
Because if you bet $4 into a $20 pot, Ace-8 can call.
Right.
You know?
Well, an ace-8 actually is the one hand you don't mind calling it, but you certainly want
but
jack
they
10
don't,
in there.
But Ace-8 doesn't know that. Though.
Exactly.
I mean, actually, she's going to make the call now for 20 anyways,
Hey, even better.
regardless. So.
You better now you got somebody in there with some real money.
Yeah.
And you get jack 10 out of there, who had, you know, some draws and everything.
15 on the
And I'm assuming Clovine is Clovine called too with pocket fours.
Well, she's just all in for 3
Oh,
chips.
she's all in. Okay, thank
So
you.
there's a lot of money on the side now. Turn is a 7, and Charity's going to continue to bet.
Oh yeah, that's not a scary card.
And I think she might be all in. Oh no, she's going to bet 21.
7 does complete a straight, but it completes a straight that probably would have been there already.
Look at this,
Anyway.
and Marie calls. I got to be honest with you. If I was Charity, I might have pushed harder there on the turn. She only bet 20, half the size of the pot. But she's in good shape. The river is a queen, and she makes trips now. And why not value bet here?
Oh yeah.
And she's going to move all in here. Charity's going to move all in.
Push.
And let's see what Marie does. I mean, she doesn't even have second pair here, Dave.
Oh, she's got nothing.
I think this was a great tutorial about how to play your hand versus what some of the other people have been doing tonight.
Oh yeah.
And Charity's going to win everything here with Ace Queen.
And Clothing was actually, was she half turning it over, expecting to win the pot?
I don't know. I think that scallops thing is like kind of like aunt and aunt.
Okay.
I
like
don't
that.
know.
No, it's cool. I always like hearing different pronunciations of words. Interesting, one thing about Shadow talking about trying to get a low-limit book, you can actually check out liveatthebike.com, not yet, but in the next coming couple of weeks, Bart, myself, and Shirley are going to be putting out possibly some strategy articles.
Yes. And,
And,
we're all going to be
our opinions of,
weekly blogs.
Exactly, and you can kind of get our opinion and our, us kind of our opposing opinions on how to play certain hands and how to play in different games.
How was that bad?
C3, we got a new player coming into. It's Diane.
Diane in seat 3, huh?
Coming into the game.
Thank you.
Ooh, she's an English player, Dave. $6 raise there by Cindy.
No, you know what?
6-7 of clubs.
You might give me a bad beat. I don't want you to suck out on it. I'll go check on your okay.
And Ryan from Omaha, Nebraska, just wanted to say hi to us, and we say hi right back. Thanks.
Email us at liveatthebike.com. Marisol's got Trip Queens.
Oh. What? Did they check?
She checks it. Turn is a 4.
I was just fixing my stuff.
Now, the one thing that we say about players like Marisol who like to bet a lot of hands, whether they're good or bad, is to bet their good hands as well, because
exactly.
they're not going to get credit for it.
Although Marisol's not really betting any hands, she's just calling.
Well, that's true. And now it looks like Marla let out with Ace-8, and Cindy's going to call with the open-ended straight draw, and it's time for Marisol to raise, and she is going to raise, I believe.
The truth is right there in my face.
But she raises $6, Dave. The pot is over $35.
Yeah, and Cindy
and
can definitely call
and
this.
she's raised $6.
$6, you can definitely call
Yeah,
this.
I mean, she's getting... And she lays it down. She lays the open-ended straight draw
Wow.
down.
I
Wow.
could tell you wanted to bet. How's your kicker?
I guess maybe she thought she was, drawing up against the full house already.
Oh, that's right. I had a queen eight, and I didn't call the $4, and I was like,
You should have. Wow. Nice hand there.
so I don't play those. You get kicked by the kicker.
Yeah.
I was like, call me.
You hear that again, Don? Donna's going to give the players a pre-warning to let them know when the when the chip count's going to be when the live action tournament's going to be over.
Another pre-warning.
Pre-warning, exactly.
And we're going to see five-way action here. It looked like it was limped around. Ace, Queen, Jack here on the flop. Cindy's drinking some Corona back there.
She goes.
She said, yeah. Jack says, baby.
No way for my king 10.
Bet 15.
Marisol has bet 15 here with King 7. Gut shot. And Marla is going to call with Queen 10.
Yeah, she's got second pair, like the same gut, well, with also a gut shot. Obviously not the same one.
Cindy Muck. Boy, Cindy really looks like that girl Kara from the Real World from Chicago season, if anyone knows what I'm talking about. The turn is a queen, and now Marla's got trip queens.
Yeah. And Marisol's going to continue betting. Maybe does she think she's a 7 of clubs as well?
Okay, Mary, I'm going to put you all in.
Oh, she's going to move all in. Marla's going to raise her all in.
Now, this is a pretty easy muck for you if you're Marisol. You have nothing. You have king high. You have a bad draw.
You're all in, huh? All right, I'll give you that red chip.
She's going to muck it. There you go.
And she's all interested in the red chip.
Yeah, I think that they're, there might be in the lead there. Heads up for the lead, possibly.
Yeah.
Seat 5 against seat 4.
I think Donna has brainwashed into thinking the red chips are more important than the blue ones.
Well, good for Donna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
Kara from the Real World, Dave, I actually went abroad with her in
Did
London.
you really?
In 2000. I was in London with her. And seat 7, Cindy. And if
get
there's
it on?
any, if there's any Real World fans out there, seat 7 looks exactly like her.
Was there a relationship? I mean, were you guys...
She's actually dating my roommate.
Okay, so did anything happen between you two?
Well, she was dating my roommate, so that
Okay.
wouldn't be necessarily... I didn't pull the Seinfeld switch, sorry.
Oh! No Seinfeld switch, huh?
Sorry about that.
I thought friends share, you know?
Except that Cindy has brown hair instead of blonde hair.
Oh.
4-way action.
Couple diamonds out
7,
there.
10, 6. Laura's flopped a set. And Cindy's bet here with pocket 8s, $4.
I like the bet. Well, I don't like the $4 bet, but I like betting.
And Laura, believe, is smooth called. And did Marisol raise out there? Somebody raised. Yeah, Marisol raised, Dave. She really is loosening up here.
Loosening up?
And I believe that that Laura has re-raised. And now Cindy really needs to know that her hand is no good. A bet, a raise, a call, and then a re-raiser in the middle.
Yeah, both players need to know their hand's no good.
Turns a deuce. Now Cindy could catch a 9 here and make a straight.
Yeah, and Marisol obviously needs an 8 to make a straight. So Marisol's got 2 outs.
And Laura's going to bet.
And
She's
Cindy has
all
3
in.
outs.
She bets $14 here. Into about a $50 pot.
Right, now she's all in, obviously.
Yeah.
So. But we're talking about literally, I mean, Marisol's got, I mean, I don't even think you have the odds for this even $14 bet. I mean, Marisol's got 2 outs.
Cindy mucks, too.
Yeah.
There you go.
I show in the...
Rabbit
Take it
Cam
now.
shows an 8.
Wow, and the river would have been the set of 8s, but that would have actually given Marisol in seat 4 the straight.
And, well, yeah, Marisol the straight with the King 9 and a set of 8s, like you said,
Yeah.
for Cindy.
Wow.
And
Marisol would have hit her 2-outer.
Laura would have been in 3rd place.
Yeah.
Okay, that was nice.
Okay, ladies, at 8:45. I'm sorry, what's going to end the red chip? What's that?
8:45.
45.
45 in the red. Okay,
Yeah,
15
minutes.
15 minutes to make good on these cards.
Oh, this is a real money count here, Dave. And we've got Marla ahead with $280, Charity with $125, and Marisol, again, we've said she's rebought time and
Time again. And
over
again.
and over and again and again.
Well, I mean, besides Cindy and Marisol, I don't think anybody else has actually bought in more than once.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, Cindy's down quite a bit as
right,
well.
there's only, I mean, there should only be $360 on the table. But obviously there's way more than that. And that's pretty much courtesy of Marisol and Cindy.
Ace 9 ace here. And,
Right, and Laura did buy in once also, seat 9.
Mary's got the trip aces, and she checks it.
That's fine.
And Laura bets 5 with 9-10. And Marisol makes the call with Queen 5 of hearts. Wow. Is it a time for a check raise here with the ace 4? No, she's just going to smooth call.
Yes, jackpot.
Oh, yeah.
No, there's no jackpot.
Oh, it turns an ace, and now someone does have 4 aces. But
Come on, jackpot.
Yeah, I wish
look at this,
somebody...
Laura's going to bet, though. She's got a full house.
I would think my hand is good here, wouldn't you?
But it's only 1 and 2, though.
Marisol mucks now. Let's see what Mary does with 4 aces. Now, again, what you say sometimes about this play, Dave, when you're out of position, what are you going to do? Call and now bet the river?
Yeah.
Or is she going to check raise?
I mean, you're just hoping. I mean, I was hoping. Can't we just, like, kind of everybody, like, close your eyes and just give Laura an extra 10?
Yeah, it could.
Oh,
The river's
wow.
a 9.
And it doesn't improve
Doesn't
her
do
hands.
anything, though. The full house plays.
Check, check.
But now, what a time. Oh, it goes check, check. Dave, here's a lesson for you. What a time to move all in with 4 aces from up front there.
without a
And
doubt.
that is a clear-cut time to move all in because the board plays, right?
Yeah.
You've got something that's a clear-cut case of when the board plays, but you have a hand that beats the board,
Yeah.
right? And we've seen that a lot in games like this over the last few
Without
months.
a doubt, right.
That was
I
a
mean,
great time for ace 4 to move all in.
Wow, and the third 9.
Because,
out there.
Dave, even like in games as high as the $500 game, if you've got a pot that's pretty big, sometimes you're not going to get that guy to lay down that hand when the board plays like that for $300 in the pot.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If there's $600 or $700 in the pot and you make a $300 or $400 bet, I don't know if anybody's going to lay that down.
Yeah,
That means they got to give credit for an ace or a pair higher than 9s.
yeah.
And when we talk about our bad beat jackpot, it's aces full of 10s losing to 4 of a kind or better. Both hole cards have to play. So in that case there, it wasn't a jackpot on either side because Marie had ace 4 in her hand, so the 4 would not have played.
Look at this. Jive Dadson said scallop is the British pronunciation for the word. Well, there you go.
There you go. Maybe you got a little Brit in you. I knew there was a reason why we were friends.
And there was a raise here, and boy, we've got a big pot. And Charity's got ace queen. And again, there's about $30 in that pot, and
Well,
she's
I mean-
going to bet big. Or now, seat 9 comes and bets, and let's see if Charity raises big here. Now, Laura bet $5 into a $30 pot, and she's going to raise it and make it 40 to go
Right.
to Dave.
There
And
you
that's
go.
a great play.
Yeah, she calls a 5 and then raises it 35 more.
Yeah.
Now I'm just curious. When you get ace queen, do you flop a top? Do you flop a queen every single time,
All the time.
like Charity does? I mean, it's like a rule. And I mean, the $5 bet by Laura was fine. You got
Stop bet?
Well, I mean, she got the information she wanted to get. Now
Oh, no, she's going to move all in with ace
and
10.
she's just, I mean, she's almost drawing dead. I
She
mean,
needs to catch running 10s.
running 10s, running clubs.
Oh, that's going to do it. Turns a queen. And Charity has won with 3 queens, ace queen, about 3 or 4
That's what I'm
times
saying. I
tonight.
I raise with ace queen, the flop comes out king 9-4. She raises ace queen, it comes out queen every time, it seems like. And Charity's on fire.
Well, it is a ladies' tournament, so it is a
I tell you, tournament game, in a tournament, I don't really want to play against Robert. But in a cash game, we were saying, you know, Robert's a welcome member in any cash game. Charity, though, is not necessarily a player I'd want to play with in a cash game.
Give me a couple red and I'll give you a few stacks of these. Okay. Let's do it now. So you do
She's swimming in the
Yeah, I like her. I do.
You're there. You're there.
Sorry, I'm just chips are nuts. They're making me crazy.
And once again, you are watching Women's Night at Live at the Bike.
Ladies' night.
And we're playing No Limit Hold'em. Blinds are $1 and $2. It's a restricted buy-in, $40 buy-in game. I am David Tuckman here with Bart Hansen.
And Dave, I don't mean to interrupt you, but Marisol's got pocket queens and she's limped in.
Looking for the old limp re-raise.
I don't know.
She gets it.
Well, the button's going to raise with king queen. She makes it $5.
Now, if you're Marisol, what do you do?
Oh, boy.
Push in the bush. Come on, put it in there.
Look, she just calls. Did you say push in the bush?
Yeah, have you ever seen Adaptation?
Okay.
It's quoting them. It's a great line in that movie.
She just calls, though, Dave, with the queens. Jack 5-6.
Well, she's in good shape. Nobody's got anything.
I'm going to check my pair.
And she checks it from up front.
Yeah, Marla's got second pair. That's it. She checks her queens.
And the button's going to bet 10, so let's see what she does.
Well, how about a
And
check
Dave, she only
raise?
has $5 left. And she's going to move all in here. $8, excuse me.
Wow.
And, yeah, she probably should have checked re-raise all in on the flop.
Of course.
Yeah. Now, Marla calls with 10-6. So we've got... Now, they could check it down here on the side, Dave. Ooh, an ace comes on the turn.
Right now, in a tournament, obviously, it makes more sense to check it down. Obviously, in a cash game, not much sense.
And the river here is
Oh.
a king, and Laura's backed into the best hand.
Too bad. Turn in the river, you have to be sick if you have 2 black queens there, huh?
Did Marla move all in? Marla moved all in as a bluff, Dave, with 6-10.
And Laura calls.
And Laura called with king-queen.
Oh, and on the river you got it. She got it on the river.
I don't know if they realized that Marisol had 2 black queens.
Yeah. Oh.
And there goes
That's an odd play by Marley. She's played it pretty straightforward all day, and then she just pulls that out of her,
I can't
you know.
believe that.
Yeah?
I think I had the ace, huh?
Pulled it out of...
her hat.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot. That'll be $5.
Just want to say welcome to all those people watching us who have found us on Windows Media Player. Obviously, we are on the front page of Windows Media Player today, and I think all week. And you are watching Live at the Bike. You can watch us every Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 p.m. We have games ranging from this, where we have a $40 buy-in, to a game where there's a $40,000 buy-in.
Donna.
Check, no, I should check it down. If I checked it, I was reaching for it. You were? But you didn't think I
Big
had
range of games.
Big range of games.
Yeah. Check us out tomorrow night for our big no-limit game, which is this game, but it's an unrestricted buy-in game, and most likely the blinds for that game are going to be 10 and 20.
Right.
And the minimum buy-in is $1,000.
So, is that game is there any difference in that game from this game?
Well, you don't start off short-chipped.
There you go. Okay.
That is a big difference.
People will buy in for, instead of buying in for a game like that, instead of buying in for, say, $200
Yeah.
or even $500, people are buying in that game for $2,000 or $3,000.
I mean, this game is like playing 10, 20 blinds with buying in for 200. It's the same
exactly.
equivalent.
Yeah.
20 times the big blind. Or excuse me, buying in for
$400.
10, 20, yeah.
Right.
Laura's flopped top 2 pair here with the ace-king.
And the 10-20 game, obviously, the minimum buy-in is $1,000.
Now, Marisol was called with the gut shot, queen-jack. She's in bad shape. Well, she's picked up a jack of pair, and she has the queen of clubs, and she moves all in, and ace-king, I'm sure, is going to call. So she needs to spike a 10 or a club, and it doesn't come on the river. And once again, I think she just did a short buy there, Dave. She must have, because she was out before.
I'm feeling bad for her now. I mean, I really do. My wife was actually asking me this question. She said, sometimes when you play, obviously we play with players that are drunk, people that are, just giving money away sometimes. They're just in a bad mood. Or whatever it is, just losing. And my wife was asking me if I felt bad sometimes.
Oh, there we get an action chip count.
Well, Marisol's going to win the thing, it looks like.
Action chip count. Marisol's got 14 chips, so she seems to win $100, Dave, but unfortunately she's going to be down overall for the night. Marie's got seed 8. She should just kind of sit back, but she doesn't want to sit back too much.
Well, she probably doesn't need to win too many more hands. We probably only have about 5 or 6 hands left, so somebody would have to win like all 5 to beat her.
Look at this, Dave. We're getting an email from Ingvar in Iceland. He says, I must be the only regular viewer of your show from Iceland. Love the show, and I stay up at totally inappropriate hours to watch it. I wonder if he's from the Reykjavik area.
I don't know. You'd have to ask him. Well, we really do appreciate the email, Ingvar, and we'll try to keep the show as unappropriate as possible to go with your unappropriate hours.
Flop comes queen 6-9.
Yeah, Marisol's in that. She's in that any 2 card mode.
And she's bet $5 on the flop.
And
look at this. Marlo's going to raise her with the ace-king. Going to raise it up to 15. And these twos are the ones that are going head-to-head for that pink.
Yeah, but it's 14 to 11 now.
Okay, then you bet 5.
So $5 bet and a $15 raise. And she's going to muck it. And now she's only 2 chips behind if those numbers are accurate.
2 chips behind.
Dave, a couple of years back before I moved out here from L.A. and Boston, this is for Ingvar, Icelandic Air made a real push for a flight to Reykjavik from Boston to be like a weekend trip, because it really is not that far. I mean, it's pretty much midway between the East Coast and England. It's like a 2.5-hour flight.
Really?
Yeah. They would do a package, like a 3-day package. They'd push for
That's
big
so
holidays.
Cool.
You fly over to Iceland.
I didn't realize it was that close. I mean, I guess
Yeah.
so. It's right up there.
Yeah. It's
Wow, right up there.
It's right there from the East Coast.
Like I'm pointing. But that's really
It's
wow.
the same deal out of New York City, too.
That's great. It's like, what's the point? I'm not going to go to Napa Valley. I'm going to take my wife to Iceland.
Well, from L.A. it would be a little longer.
Hey,
But,
Iceland, here I come.
I'm talking about East Coast.
That's good. I didn't realize it was only about a 2.5-hour flight, though.
Yeah.
Wow.
2.5 to 3 hours.
Yeah. And you never made that? You never ventured out?
I didn't. I was going to go one weekend, and it's kind of a last-minute thing you can put together with a travel agent.
Really?
Something
What were the
happened.
flights? What were they charging for flights?
It was a great package, 3 days, a flight, and a hotel room might have been, say, $700-800 a person.
Oh, wow.
For 3 nights and,
That's nothing.
and an airfare round
Check out
trip.
Iceland?
4 minutes for these. Oh, I see. Oh, so that
First off.
Are we getting worried? We only have 4 minutes left on this?
2 minutes after that, I guess.
For the action chips. 4 minutes for the action chips?
The live action tournament. And, well, I haven't heard much of Diane there.
That's Diane. She bet there with the flush draw, and she takes it down.
Takes it down.
Well, we just got word that seat 4 had 14 chips, and seat 5 has 11, but the chip count was 14 to 12, I thought. And then seat 5 won another. Oh, so it's 14 to 11. We're getting confirmation.
Okay.
So Marisol in seat 6 is in the lead. Now we're paying off $50 for second place and $25 for third place.
Okay, well, great.
So
So there's a little race for second and third here.
$6.
See? Everybody not blame Mary for doing that because she's protecting her red stack. That's totally understandable. And of course you are. I'm not even worried about this.
And we're getting word that seat 9 has 14 action chips as well, Dave, so it's actually tied.
Yeah, it's all about the blue, exactly.
King, Queen, 4 here on the flop. Pot was raised a little bit. We've got 7-way action. Cindy's got a top pair, and she's going to lead out here. And,
Laura's got a flush draw with a pair here.
Yeah, and she has raised.
Yeah, I like the raise. Problem is, though, Cindy's not going anywhere.
No.
Oh.
Turn is an 8, and now Cindy has a pair and a flush draw.
Yeah.
Top pair and a flush draw. And she's going
Makes
to bet.
Cindy's hand much stronger here, obviously, because now a 7 of clubs would not give Laura the win.
Bet and a call.
But
and the river is a diamond, and that's going to put Laura in the action chip lead as well. She's going to have 15 action chips.
Really?
Yep.
Wow, I guess we miscounted. Take it down, Laura.
And she's going to pop up into the lead with 15 action chips.
Wow, you know, she made a couple of misplays and lost about $80, but she's on fire since then, huh?
Yeah. Marisol has got 14 action chips. And seat 8, I believe, has 12 action chips. And seat 5 has 12.
And I think this one or the next one might be that we might have 1 or 2 more hands in this live action tournament.
Well, I'm sure that they're going to announce probably a 3-hand countdown.
Maybe Donna should give him a pre-warning right now.
Pre-warning for a 3-hand countdown. So we're going to see 3 more hands, Dave.
3 more hands in this live action tournament. It's really heating up here at Live at the Bike.
Yeah.
I'm David Tuckman here with Bart Hansen, and I am on the edge of my seat waiting to see who will take down this tournament. It's really neck and neck here between
Again,
Marisol
it's not really
and
a
Laura.
tournament, but we call it that on TV.
Hey, it's a live action tournament, okay? Our boss Rich says it is, so it is.
Was that a misdeal there? No, Cindy's looks like she's getting out.
Yeah.
I think she's
1
down.
too many. She's down about 160, I want to say, on the night. But she's a poker babe, so who cares? Yeah. I think that's Yoshi's money she lost.
Yeah.
Button is in seat 6. Small blind is $1. Big blind is $2. And we have 2 hands left here, folks, in the live action tournament.
Pocket deuces is going to raise here under the gun. And seat 8's got pocket 7s.
And Marisol did not play the hand. She has 14 chips, and she did not play it. Now, if there was ever a time to mix it up, it would be now. This hand could be worth $100 to her.
Yeah.
Ah. And Laura's certainly going to play. She has king 6 offsuit, but she's going to play it. And look at this. Marla flops a set of 6s. The case 6 comes out there. Laura's going to take a shot at it. She needs that chip, she figures.
You're folding?
Small pocket down.
Marla kind of said that disappointed. Don't fold, please. I have a set.
No one ever accused me of doing that.
And Marla's only got 11 chips, so this will bring her to 12. With 1 more to go, it's pretty much between seat 9, Laura, and Marisol on seat 4.
Oh, wow. Mary's going to make the call with pocket 7s.
Murray called me, now I'm in deep end.
Perfect. One more.
And she actually raised with her set of 6s there, Dave, huh?
Yeah, now and Laura throws it away. She is in the lead here, and as long as Marisol's not in there, it doesn't make a difference. She doesn't need this chip. Are we correct in saying that Laura has 15?
I believe so.
And Marisol with 14.
Look at that. The king comes on the turn. She would have made kings up.
Come on, baby, let's do it.
And Marla's going to move all in.
Got 2 minutes left, and she's not going to call me.
And she's going to muck it.
And hold on to your seats, folks. This is the last hand of the live-action tournament. Marisol versus Laura. 15 to 14.
We're going to hold the deal up so we can get an accurate chip count. So again, we're going to hold the deal up until we can get an accurate chip count.
You have to prepare too.
So we're going to try to hold that deal up until we get an accurate chip count.
You can.
There we go. All right, he's going to hold on.
The tension in the air is you can almost cut it. It's so hard, and it's oof, wow.
And on the side, Dave, Chris Moneymaker is winning in the Stud High Low event on Stars. Isn't that crazy? Wow.
Wow. I didn't know if Moneymaker was a Stud High Low player.
So Seat 9 does have 15 chips here, Dave, and Marisol has 14. 13, 14, and 15.
Well, there you go.
So it's between Seat 9 and Seat 4, and I guess if they tie it up, maybe they'll split the first and second prize money.
No, if they tie, they got to play heads up.
Give Alex a hand. Just
No ties.
I'd be dealing with it. I wouldn't just sit here.
And Marisol has to play this hand. Not only does she have to play this hand, she has to win the hand.
Yep.
Is this the last one? Is this the...
No, there's two more.
This is actually going to be the last hand.
You have to win two to tie this young lady.
You know, it's a little confusing, Dave, because three hands ago, I think there was a misdeal.
One to tie her.
I think there's 2 hands left, Dave. So this is going to be the second to last hand.
2 hands here. We say hi to Katie there.
Maybe she can win the chip.
Yeah.
So here we go. Everyone's in.
Everybody's in.
That's right.
Marisol has King 9. And there's a 9 in the flop.
Jack 8, 9. And she's got the best hand here, Dave.
Go all in. Come on, Marisol. Go all in. Oh.
And what has she done here? And Métis. She's going to bet with ace high. She bets $5.
Red is not coming to me.
Now $5 again here. Charity calls. Now, yeah, Marisol, boy, she just smooth calls.
Oh, come on. Oh, that would have been a great opportunity to take it down.
Michelle calls, and Laura calls with what is a gut shot to the 6. The turn is a queen, and Charity takes the lead.
Yep.
Is she going to bet here? No, she.
Maytay moves in, though. I'm sorry.
Cindy is going to move all in
She's
here.
got top pair. She's got a straight.
Yes, she did. She flopped a straight.
Oh.
Yep.
There we go. We're so excited about Marisol. I missed that.
She flopped a straight. Is that Cindy over there?
No, that's actually Katie.
Katie. Okay.
It's our new player, Katie.
New player. She's going to ruin this, Dave. We only
She's
have
going to come in there
left.
and ravage our one ship.
Yeah.
Ah.
And now the question for Charity is, what do you do with the king-queen? She's checked the king-queen
It's
on
a
the turn.
one-liner to a straight. Generally, when these women show strength, they have it.
Yeah.
You know, we haven't seen too many big bluffs.
And once again, we see another reason why Cindy could have raised on the flop and made more money because she has an action killer that comes on the turn.
Right, exactly. And Marisol actually folded it.
Last hand of the night.
And this is actually the last hand, folks.
Yep.
And I'm getting word that we're going to get the winner back here for an interview.
Yeah, she did. What's with that? What's with that? That doesn't do anything for her. You're okay with that? She's the
last
only
chip,
one that
Larry.
can compete with you. So I'm.
C4 does not win this pot. C9 will win this bonus.
You got to be in there. That's in there.
Oh, it's for the chip? It's not the last of the game?
No, it's not the last one.
So this is going to be the last hand of the night.
Exactly.
I thought it was last
Last hand of the night.
This is it.
We're ready.
Marisol down by 1. I mean, this is kind of like Yankees Red Sox, isn't it?
Chelsea Man U.
Exactly. Well, she's got a real hand here. She's got ace-4. I would just move all in right now. There she is.
Yep.
Oh, $6.
$6. Seat 5's going to call with deuce 4 of spades.
It actually wouldn't have been a bad time to rebuy for 40 and then just move all in.
Yeah, why
Try to
not?
steal it, you know? It's actually worth $100. Why not? In that case.
Well, it's a $50 difference, remember. They pay off second and third place.
Right. But you're risking 40 to actually win like 50 plus your 40. You're risking 40 to win 90.
We got 5 people in here. King, 5-4. And is ace-4 good right now? It's good right now.
Oh, come on, Marisol. Here it is.
And Marla, she's going to bet 20 with deuce-4.
She's gotten more and more aggressive as the night has gone on, huh?
I don't know. See how Mary can make this call. Wow, she's going to call with ace-6?
Well, she's got a runner straight draw possibility.
And Laura mucks. So Marisol, if she won the pot, Dave, it would be a tie.
Yeah, and she's got the best hand, but it's really tough for her to call this. Oh, she's all in. I'm sorry.
She's all in.
Since you said something about the 3 chips, she went in. But
So it's very easy for her, actually.
Okay.
The turn is an 8. Marisol's still in the lead.
And the river.
And the river is an 8.
And Marisol ties it up.
Yeah, Marisol's going to get that final chip.
And I've got to confer with our producers here. What are we going to do if it's 15-15?
I think that we're going to split the first and second prize money up.
Tie her now. She wins the main pot.
Oh, that's all I wanted to hear was about the red chip.
You got the side pot.
Okay, excellent. Oh, good. I'm so happy for you. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And wow, what excitement. We've got a tie here at Live at the Bike. You've been watching Ladies Night, folks.
Yep, and they're going to split that up. And that's going to do it for us tonight. That was our last hand. Well, you know, Dave, of course, this was a fun night. And we'll be back tomorrow at 6 o'clock Pacific time for our bigger version of the No Limit game. Most likely a 10-20 blind, unrestricted buy-in No Limit game. But tonight was a fun night. How would you characterize what went on?
It was fun. I mean, it was a lot of fun. You can learn a lot from people's mistakes, and you can learn a lot from people's well played hands. You know.
Yeah.
So
overall, fun night, right?
Fun, enjoyable.
Well, for everyone in the booth, and for the Tuckster, I'm Bart Hanson. Good night, everybody, from Live at the Bike.
It's here. It's big. And it's closer than you think. It's not a tournament. It's what you don't see on TV. The cash is real. The stakes are high. They bet big. They win big. They lose big. High stakes live action poker. Live at the Bike. Watch it live on the web or play it if you dare at the Bicycle Casino right here in Los Angeles.